Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. Oh damn, I should probably stop opening tabs at a rapid rate. My
Yes,
energy's like, yeah,
maybe.
what are you doing, homie? Yeah, happy belated birthday, Alex. It was your birthday this past
Thank you.
weekend.
I'm
What
old.
day was that? Was that Monday or
Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
I don't remember. Yeah, Sunday. This past weekend. You are old.
Mm-hmm.
I call you old regularly because like you're older than my sister, and I consider my sister, like
That is
once you're older
awful.
than my sister, you're
Your
old.
sister has a child, and I'm older than your
Yeah,
sister.
my
Ew.
sister as a 3-year-old child. Yes.
Oh, dear
Um,
God.
But yeah, um, I don't know. I'm chilling. I
Okay.
almost died this week, from the shows that we had to watch, but I'm still living.
I see.
I
There's
liked
a,
one of the four.
wow. Was it the Stardom one?
No.
Okay. All right. This is going to be an interesting week. Well, head on over to the 5starnetwork.co for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this No Limit Wrestling and Actress stage all go up. By the time this goes up, this other thing will have already happened, but we are doing the No Limit punishment for the tag draft ending in a draw. Dylan is streaming, and we're gonna have to watch the Minami Toyota Kyoko Inoue 60-minute time limit draw. Uh, because I have to suffer, basically. Like that was it. I didn't even lose the draft, but I am the one who has to suffer.
Well,
So
okay, so the idea is that you and Xavier are going to suffer.
yes,
Um, and I don't know if there's any one match that I could get everybody to agree to watch, uh, in which all four of us would actively suffer.
dude, there are definitely Britt Baker matches.
Yeah, but those aren't long. Like you can't make a stream out of it. Um, It'd be
Really
funny
could.
if every single punishment we do for No Limit is just Britt Baker matches. Um, but
Or
no, so I
Kali.
think with
Or Kali.
I like Holly. I like
Nobody likes
Holly.
Kali.
I don't know. I mained him in WWE 2K14. He was killing bitches, man. Um,
Fair.
but so I thought about it. It's like, okay, I watch shows with Xavier a lot. Obviously with Xavier and Scott a lot. When Xavier doesn't like like something that you're watching, it is hard.
Okay.
and
Right.
and and when you don't like something, it is also hard. Um, so even if me and Scott do like the match, which I don't know, I've only seen clips of it. Even if we do like the match, it won't be a fun experience unless you miraculously are like, you know what, this match isn't that bad, and Xavier is miraculously like, you know what, maybe Kyoko and Noah and Manami Toyota are both very good. Like unless something crazy happens, I'm probably gonna have a bad time because half the people there will be having a bad time. Uh, but yeah, that's going to be on twitch.tv/DylanXXI. The VOD might be up if you're listening. Well, when you're listening to this, I don't
You
know
could
if the
probably
VOD will
find a
stay up.
way to get that on to the 5 Star Network YouTube,
I could
surely.
probably unlist it.
Maybe. Because you will have to find a way to VOD it. Otherwise, it's kind of
Yeah,
a waste.
yeah, I'll
Um,
figure out a way to VOD it and it'll be
yeah.
fine. I mean, we're doing it on StreamYard, so the VOD will be available natively, so it's not that big of
Okay,
a
that's
problem.
fine. That's fine. So,
But yeah, so the VOD will be somewhere. If it's nowhere, then it's on Dylan XXI at Twitch or on Twitch. You know what I
okay.
mean? Twitch.tv.
Yeah. All right. We're going to start with something that's just happened before we went on air. ShuPro have announced the winners of their fan voted awards, and the Joshi kind of cleaned up. So we had so Zack Sabre Jr. won the the GP basically for them as well. He won the first Grand Prix and he won the ShuPro Grand Prix. But what's most interesting is Tam Nakano finished second in ShuPro's voting, a long way off. Zach got almost 5,000 votes. Tam didn't even get 2,000. But I think it says a lot about the growth of Stardom and Joshi in general that a women's wrestler finished behind the runaway champion of New Japan, but finished ahead of, you know, the ace of DDT, the ace of Noah. Uh, None of the All Japan guys are here. There's like two other
Yeah, I was
Joshi
gonna
wrestlers
say I don't
here.
think I'm gonna be real. I don't think that this year was that. Uh, I don't think this is that impressive for Tam, if I'm being honest.
I
Um,
think it still says a lot about how voting habits have changed and how much more prevalent Stardom is. Like
yes,
it's definitely a turnaround from where we used to be.
of course, but I also think that like it was a rough year. Like Micah not getting any votes is interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like Soriano is number two in terms of Joshi on this one, and
she's
there's no
below Gabe
Micah.
Kidd,
Yeah,
who
despite what Micah did last year, she clearly hasn't taken with the fan base in the way that Tam has, which is why Tam is the ace of the universe, which is why she gets all these title wins. She is still immensely popular.
yeah. Um, so wait, so what's the difference between that and the favorite wrestler one?
I
Like,
think that's just a popularity contest,
are they? But for the Pro Wrestling Grand Prix, is this just them trying to
like the
be
best overall wrestler, I'd imagine. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I don't
Um,
know. It's kind of similar because like Dave has that problem, doesn't he? Where he has like Flair as best wrestler and most popular, or like most
yeah,
charismatic. I got
yeah,
those
and
popularity contests.
yeah, most outstanding, most and it's like
Yeah.
there are technically differentiating factors to them, but it's like it doesn't feel like it. Obviously, uh, looking at the favorite wrestler one, Zach is 11th, and in the best wrestler one, he's number one by far and away. So it's like there is a difference, obviously, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think Tam getting number two. Um, I don't know. I think it's being the number two promotion in Japan. Like obviously, I feel like that's like forehead, but um, yeah, I think it's interesting.
It would appear we don't actually have voting for this one, but it appears based on the picture that Tam and Natsuko won the match of the year, which is very interesting. It's not really a match I think a lot of people would have taken much notice of, but obviously it was the culmination of the big story from the summer with kind of eight stealing the championship, messing with Tam, and then Tam overcoming all the odds and winning the title. So I guess
I
that
will
really had
say,
left an impact on the fan base.
I feel like there's like a major disconnect between and this has been the case the entire time we've been podcasting. There's a major disconnect between like for every year when it comes to the match of the year, like the Japanese voted match of the year and just like the general consensus in America, and not just America, but English speaking side of things. Because it's like I wouldn't even think of that. Like it was a good match.
Mhm.
I liked Tam Natsuko. I thought it was a good match. But it's like I wouldn't have thought of that. Same thing with like what Suji Goto won for Tokyo Sports.
Yeah.
It was a very good match, but I wouldn't immediately go to that. Like even for a Goto match, I probably would have gone for the Finley one. So it's like it's interesting, like in that, and that's been constant throughout the years. So I do think uh Tam Natsuko getting a shout is an interesting one. I probably would have gone with Natsuko Maika if I was picking a Natsuko match, but the second Natsuko Maika, not the bad one, um, where bad things happened.
They were
But yeah,
not. That was not bad.
no, it was a
Um,
good match, but I don't want to think about it.
that's fair. Cosmic Angels also won favorite faction or best faction, which kind of makes sense when you see how they did in a lot of the votes. I mean, favorite wrestler Tanahashi won, but Tam was like 800 votes behind him, and Natsupoi finished seventh. Siriano was in eighth. Mayu was in 10th, and then you have a dip to Unagi in 16th, and
Suriano's
there's
fascinating. Like,
Sif has a big, wide fan base from working all the indies. Like she has the Oz fans, she has the Stardom fans, she has the Sendai fans. Like she is very
yeah,
recognizable.
and
So
hey,
I
I
think
love
that's
Suriano,
a
but
boost.
I
Yeah.
I, I do think that's like for someone who just kind of came into Stardom late 2023 or mid 2023 and wasn't a big player until last year. Um, her just being, a top 10 favorite wrestler in Japan, period, over Mayu, Zack Sabre Jr., and Hiromu Takahashi. It's kind of insane. And it does lead us to a different discussion. I think this is more indie fans, obviously, more like
It's a weird
non New
voter
Japan
base
fans.
because All Japan had, by all metrics, a red hot year, and they're not represented at all. Like, there's no
Not as red
Saitos,
hot as.
there's no
Wait, yeah,
no
the
Kento.
Saitos not being there is fucking weird, actually, because the
Like,
Saitos
there's
are like pretty objectively very popular.
yes, yeah, like, and DDT ranks really high, and DDT is kind of cold, for the most part. Like, they're higher than Noah, who I would think Noah is generally more well liked than DDT. So
Yeah, but
it's
individual
definitely,
wrestlers in Noah, not so much. Like I think like
I
Keno and
guess.
and uh
Yeah,
and
but like
Kaito.
Keno isn't even on here. Oh, he is. He's
Yeah, he
17th. But
is.
like
Yeah,
that's a big drop to Keno. I mean, he's just above Oleg.
Bolton
Like come
Oleg.
on.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. Like I don't know. I'm not saying this is a be all a little bit of insight because ShuPro is one of the biggest, wrestling coverages in Japan. It is them and Tokyo Sports by a mile. So this is what their reader base thinks. I think what's most interesting for us is that for the women's Grand Prix, the top 10, there's not a single wrestler from Marigold. It is insane to me that Utami Hayashishita just completely fell off for this viewer base. Like Sari is second. Sari is second because she did as much as she did. But there is no Utami, there's no Julia, there's no Mirai. Like they are below Miyu Watanabe. Micah is seventh
I
here. So
swear to
again,
God, Unagi is like a psyop. Cause like, what
I
did
know.
she like? I get 2023. Like she was moving, and she was like really like putting in. What did she do last year?
She did the produce show, didn't she?
That
She
was like
announced
fine.
I guess she did announce that she's running Sumo Hall and everybody went, what? So that's
But
why.
like that, like you do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm
Yeah,
not even
no, I
like saying
do.
this
I
as
do.
like somebody who doesn't particularly like Unagi. I'm just very confused how she always places in these things. Like I know in Tokyo Sports it's because Kenta Kobashi just likes her, like,
Yeah.
and he's always campaigning for her because he respects her grind. But like what? Like I'm
Yeah.
not like just over like Starlight Kid isn't
Yeah.
here. Like what? Like not even as like a Marigold fan, just as a analyst of this scene. Crazy to me.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting to me is that Micah is so low. Like Micah is below Kamatani. And I kind of expected that, but you have like Mina, you have Natsupoi all above Micah despite the push Micah got, and she barely finished ahead of Soriano. It is like a Stardom and the fan bases clearly love the idols because even their
Mm.
most pushed like ace like figure in Micah is only seventh on the list, and I think Saya would probably finish higher if they were to redo it. I think she's obviously gained a lot of mass appeal, but I do think it is interesting that there is just no Marigold whatsoever. Miyu Watanabe is the only TJPW wrestler, not even Yuki
And
Arai.
and and to, yeah, Yuki Arrive not being on the favorites or on the like being on anything is interesting.
Yeah.
Evil being 20th is also like just as a New Japan fan, feel like he would have been higher because like I don't know, Evil's the best heel in wrestling. Um yeah, interesting list. Obviously nobody can see this, so it's like I'm just like reading this over and it's like nobody, it's kind of bad audio, but
Oh yeah, I mean this will
interesting
all be
list for
out, I'm
sure.
sure, by the time we do it. But Velke, we sent us pictures in the
I will
Discord. So
say I think on the Marigold front, and this is partially cope, but it is also I just think how it is, and I don't know how the voting works necessarily, but I imagine like if you were going to give one vote to Marigold, you would give it to Sari. Uh,
yeah, I
so
guess.
it's like why would you care like just like
But even still,
yeah.
Utami is very popular. I feel like
And that's
she.
also the women's Grand Prix. It's not most popular. So
Yeah.
Sari's the only person who had movement last year in the
Hmm.
company in terms of like being indomitable. You know what I mean? As
I
a as
guess.
a wrestler. So I obviously we don't know what Sari's doing right now. She's been away from Marigold all month, and it doesn't appear as though she's coming back anytime soon necessarily. Um, hopefully she does, but. But I would say for 2024 Sari is as close to a Marigold wrestler as you can hope for on this list because messy, messy,
Much.
messy.
No, I obviously we didn't get ballots. They might have just not had some of these wrestlers on there, but I don't see why. Like
Yeah,
I don't, they wouldn't
that'd
have
be
had All
strange.
Japan and Marigold, but maybe they didn't. Like because Sentai Girls wasn't even there. Like there's no Mako or anything.
This is ShuPro too, so it's like I don't know, like
ShuPro
there's
does
a
pretty heavily cover Stardom and them. Like they don't even update Marigold attendances half the time. So
yeah, but
yeah,
Marigold
ShuPro is
was on
very
their
lax.
cover this past week though.
That's true. Yeah, it
Like
really.
like
You
I
know,
it's one thing if Marvelous has a big year this year, which I think they could if Chigusa cares for longer than a month. Um, like that'll be interesting because like
oh yeah, no
Chigusa has
dump is
beef.
weird as well. No dump anywhere. It's
Yeah,
kind of
but
surprising.
but Chigusa and Marvelous kind of have like beef with the mainstream media, so to speak.
Yes.
Um, like there's just always like she's always like, yeah, haven't you noticed that even when we do a crazy big show, we just don't get reported on. And so it's like that's a different, interesting case. But with Marigold, they report on him pretty
Mm,
regularly. So interesting.
it is. I was gonna say. So, oh yeah. So I mean, I guess we can just tie this in. I guess. 'Cause, I mean, everybody who listens probably knows this, but there was that Twitter account that went not viral, but it went around Joshi circles clipping Marigold botches. And Japanese fans are very much on the side of this shit sucks. So
Yeah.
maybe we're just completely wrong, and the Japanese fan base hates Marigold because they were really harsh on a lot of these clips. Like a lot of the replies are
Well, I
from
mean,
Japan.
there's been a lot of fucked shit with Marigold
Yeah, that's true. It
recently.
is. It is fascinating. I don't know if it's just a complete like worlds apart thing, but the Japanese fans, from what I have seen, just they were
How
very
do
harsh on Marigold.
see yeah, like I said, I think that like kind of trying to understand the differences in the Japanese fan base and the American fan base or the English speaking fan base. I keep forgetting that you're fucking Irish. Like we're like I can't even be like, "Oh, well, we're no, it's like we're not." Um and the, Western fan base. Like how do they feel about Minami Toyota in Japan? Like
I imagine
as
they
a
like her.
legacy thing. Yeah, but is she the like the average person's number one women's wrestler of all time?
I don't know, cause like they didn't really like women for a while there,
And
so maybe
well,
not.
that's a big part of it, yes. But like my point in saying that is that it's like Cult of Bull, who I'm an acquaintance of. He posted that video of Minami Toyota just crashing and burning over and over again. It was like a compilation, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, but this is fucking awesome. Like, let's be real. Like, like the fact that she's willing to just like die, that's cool." Um, and that's kind of how I see like a Yuzuki most of the time. Um, Obviously not as clean or as, high
death
risk. She doesn't
defying.
necessarily yeah, she doesn't do death defying moves as much, but like in a similar sense, it's like she is willing to just fuck up and die for this shit. And I kind of respect that out of her, especially because it's not like she's messing up a fucking wrist lock. You know what I mean? It's not like she's
Yeah,
incompetent. That's just objectively not true. She's not an incompetent wrestler. She just goes for shit that she can't hit with the high accuracy, and I think that's awesome. But that's just me, and I think uh, people need to be less shitty.
that is valid. That is all we have for the
She's also like a,
voting.
a year and a half in, not even. So it's like,
Yeah, I always forget that as well. I'm always like, she's what? And I literally watched her debut, but
yeah,
it does feel
we
like she's been
covered it
around for longer.
very like relatively recently.
Yeah. Um. So that's all for that, though. I guess we should go on to Stardom because they ran
Mm,
first, didn't they? They had the
they
Unit
did.
League thing on Thursday. So in the World of
Oh yeah.
Stardom, they've announced that Rina will take on Starlight Kid in February or on February 24th in Tochigi for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. That is a hometown challenge for Rina. She took to social media to say that she would love to win this belt. It reminds her of Hannah. Hannah was chasing this championship and never got to win it. And Rina said that she hopes to win it for her, which is very
Pulling
a
on
very
the
good
pulling on
reason.
the heartstrings, man. Like
Yes,
I was
which
like,
makes
damn,
it all the worse that she is a V1,
a V1,
so
yeah.
she is not winning. But she's done a good job there, I think, of selling the match, and I think it's clever to run it into cheeky. You're gonna get a pretty hot crowd for that.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get the Pink
Um,
Devil shock. She'll win.
oh, you never know. Saida is injured and she will miss the Cork and Hall show on the 2nd. They haven't said when she'll be coming back, but I'd imagine if they
She hurt
just
her
said
hand.
that show, then she'll be all right. Yeah, she was working with a cast.
Taped hand.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they've also said that there will be paper tape available for Mayu's Yamaguchi return on February 9th. And
And
beyond that,
Mayu has a special guest that will be there at the event.
I didn't actually see that. That is interesting.
Mayu
Maybe
tweeted it. She was like, I asked a
oh,
special person to be there, and they will be.
Yoshiko.
So we'll see.
That was definitely
Yeah,
Yoshiko.
maybe.
That is her best friend. Um,
It could be Yoshiko. It could be Ueshino. It could be none of the above. It could be like an idol. I think that's what some Japanese fans were saying. It's like, oh, it's gonna
oh,
be
maybe
an idol. But I
an
think it's her
actor.
talk event. So like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's strange. But that's all. There's nothing else from Stardom. I don't think any other wrestlers got up to anything in other companies, which is a first. By the time this goes up, Chi Chi versus Ra will have happened, or maybe it did happen and I forgot, but we did talk about that
No, it
last
happens
week.
tonight, I think.
Anyway, there was no
Wait,
hate on Ring of Honor,
when is
shockingly.
the
Uh,
FWC match in Oz?
we did mention it last week, but I actually can't remember. So
Like I was like, because yeah, we talked about it last week, and I was like, wait a minute, when did that happen? I don't think it
I
happened.
thought I thought it might be the second, but I don't think it is because that's Stardom's Corkin, so they wouldn't do both. Um,
I don't know. Maybe Koguma and Rana's like 10 seconds.
could be, yeah, could be. But let's get into it anyway. Let's do the review. So,
Also, I lied. I watched 5 shows and I liked 2 of them. I forgot that. I
okay,
forgot that this Thursday show happened. This was very good.
yeah. So this was on January 23rd, Stardom 14th anniversary celebration, New Year Unit League final as well. It had a sellout 284 fans in Shinkiba first ring, and we opened with Saida, Hazuki Koguma, Momokogo, and Matoi Hamabe beating Ayasakura, Yuna Mizumori, Sayaka Kurara, Lady C, and Rana Yagami. So an interesting mix there. Saida got the win for her team with a lariat in 19 minutes.
Yeah, the leaping lefty lariat. Uh,
Hell yeah.
it's great because her and Mirai both do it, and they both do it just killer as hell. Um, yeah, good move. Good move.
All right. That all?
Oh yeah. Also, the bear pose stuff is like the most over shit in the company right now, as it should be. And
And
like
Fukigen.
well, yes, when Fukigen's around, but um, yeah, Koguma was like to Sakakara, she was like, I think you need something. I think you need to do something to like advance your career, and that something is the bear pose. Um, and I appreciated that. I thought it was all very funny. I'm a fan of just the Koguma bit in general. We didn't get to talk about it last week, I think, when it actually happened. That Koguma like related success and stardom to motherfuckers who embrace the bear. Um, like she posted like a graphic of Micah wearing the bear suit and then becoming champion. Um,
Oh, yes.
and just there was like 4 or 5 examples of like, yeah, if you just be the bear, you win titles. And Tomoka Inaba was like, maybe I should be the bear. I don't know. That's interesting.
Mocha trying to bridge Thusa, trying to find any way she can.
Jesus. Yeah.
Um, The match after that was Siri and Saki Kashima beating Hanan and Maya Iwatani. Siri pinned Hanan in 18 minutes with a flowing flame, which is definitely not the
The
actual
Ryuin?
name. Probably. That would make sense. They did a promo beforehand where Saki Kashima was like, "Hey, sorry about turning on you that one time. Uh, I'm not like that anymore, though." And Mayu was like, "Okay, sure, cool." Because this was obviously Mayu's 14th anniversary. Saki Kashima has been around since 2011 or 2012.
Same year. Same year.
Yeah,
She ruined James's generation spreadsheet because Maya said, "Yeah, you're
yeah,
like 1.5 generation. You're not even two." Uh,
yeah.
when
She came along like at a very random
she
time.
she came around in like June,
Yeah,
like 5 months after the
and then
first
left,
debuts.
and then came back. So you
Yes,
know.
yes, she did
Um,
leave.
Yeah, they did some stuff then around that. There was some Mayu Siri, which they've done a few times lately, actually, which I'm kind of interested by. And then we had
There are
the
lots of tiers.
there were we had the Siri beating Hanan, which is kind of a cool finish as well. I didn't actually expect. Oh wait, I did expect Mayu and Hanan to lose, but I didn't expect them to lose and it just be like, all right, sure. Considering the tension in Stars that Hanan
When
lost them was like, yeah, all right.
when are you gonna understand that nothing happens or matters? I'm kidding. I'm
I don't
kidding.
know.
Uh, but no, because I said this last week. I was like, I mean, they might lose, they might win, but I don't think it's gonna mean anything. And then it didn't because this was Mayu's like anniversary match, and not anything like deep.
Yeah.
Well, it was deep because Sakashima was crying her eyes out for some reason. Wonder why. Um, but yeah,
The pictures are so funny. She's like clinging to Siri's leg.
yes,
They
yes.
won. The match is over. You are
They made
safe.
they made I forget who. I think it was the person who makes the manga or made the manga. R.I.P. Um, like made a quick draw like art of that of Saki Kajima clinging to her leg. It
Crazy.
was cute.
That's gas.
Yep.
I love Saki. Um, and that was that. And then we had the Unit League Championship final. Neo Genesis won 3-2 when Starlight Kid, Mei Seira, Azumi, Suzu Suzuki, and Miyo Masaki beat Maika, Mina Shirakawa, Waka Tsukiyama, Hanako, and Rian. Hanako team 1-0 up when she pinned Miyo Masaki. Mei Seira even the score over Rian. Mina and Azumi traded falls before Maika dropped to Suzu in a surprising fall in the 25th minute and was not able to get the honors even.
The win back.
Um, there was some good parts in this match. I think for a 30-minute match, it was better than I expected. Because
Mm.
I think 30 minutes is a lot to ask of Waka, Hanako, and Rian. Um, Neo Genesis obviously could go 30. Nina can go 30. Micah can go 30. But the other three, I think it's asking a lot. I did think it was pretty well done. I liked Mina and her work with Kid. I liked Mina and her work with
Mm.
Azumi. I loved the Micah
Good.
Suzu ending. I thought that was fantastic. I didn't mind Hanako and Miyu because Miyu is so good, but I know where this is leading. Um, so I think it was a good match overall. I think if they were going to do this again next year, maybe don't put EXV through and put a deep faction in, but it's not the end of the world either.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really love like the first 10 minutes of it, but the next 20 were good. Um,
Like once it
excuse me.
became like the top two in EXV squaring off
Yeah,
of the Neo Genesis, it was like, all right, cool.
like I mean, like I said, I think like I said last week, I think that it was a pretty lopsided tournament. Um, anybody you pick, I mean, I think guys like probably could have done better than the EXV, uh,
Mm,
depending on who they picked because 5 on 5. Um, but yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I
Lady C, Tomoka, Siri, Saki,
yeah, I
and
think they can. I think they
Kina,
can go.
maybe it would have worked.
Hina wasn't on this weekend of shows, I don't think at
No,
all,
she wasn't.
or
So you
not
would have
this weekend,
had
but the
oh
week before.
Katatsu, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Katatsu with Azumi would have been good,
yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
I don't know.
But point being, I will say I was wrong that I do think that like 30 minutes flew by pretty quickly. I forget that's 5 on 5, so it's like 3 minutes per person. Or
Yeah,
yeah, like obviously that's not how the math works because there's two people in it at a time. But it's not that insane. 6 minutes per pairing, so to speak, and you can mix up the pairings. It's pretty easy. When you have especially the Iron Man stip. I forget that tag team Iron Man matches are so much different than singles Iron Man matches.
yep,
Does that make sense?
yeah. I mean, they're my favorite match ever is a hour long. That's 6 on 6 for that reason.
Exactly. Like I think Iron Man matches work way. I think in general multi-fall matches work way better in tag teams.
Yes.
Uh, I usually don't need to see multiple falls in singles matches, like just generally, unless it's like 3 stages of hell. Except for Micah versus Momo, that match sucked. Um, but yeah, I was happy with this match. I was happy Neo Genesis won. They my dogs for real. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Immediately after we had promos. I don't know if they officially challenged here. Okay, yeah. So they said we're gonna go
They
for the
did.
artist belts, and Crazy Star are gonna go for the goddess. So so it's split pretty evenly. It's Miyu, Kid, and Azumi going for the trios belts. Suzu and Mei going for the tags. So a pretty solid split, I think. And Neo Genesis is probably one of the few groups that could Angels because they are really behind Neo Genesis. Like this is a group they're
Yeah,
very much into.
yeah, I mean, well, this is not a shocking standpoint, but I it feels like they're locked in, um, just in general. Like it feels like it's a bit more of like, okay, we're going to move forward with Neo Genesis. I feel like late last year they kind of struggled with that. I was like, why haven't they even like challenged for a tag belt or a trios
Yeah,
belt, or why haven't they done anything really, um, except for do like just hang out together? But I think that like January has been like the month of like, okay, Neo Genesis, we're locked in. We're locked in with this group. I will
big
also
time.
say that after one of these shows, I think it was the last show. Yeah, it was the 26th. Suzu Suzuki, Miyu Amasaki, and Mei Seira stayed up until 3:30 a.m. drinking wine on Instagram Live, and it was very funny.
Sick, pretty
Yeah.
beast.
Well, Mei Seira wasn't drinking; she was playing the ukulele. Uh,
Right. Okay.
yeah, it was interesting because Suzu and Miyu were drinking together, and then they were co-streaming with Mei Seira. Mei
Cannot
Seira was like a love
see a
jam.
world where Mio Masaki is just getting pissed drunk. She does not strike me as that type.
No, she got pissed drunk. Trust me.
That is absurd. I just
It's
wouldn't have
funny.
guessed.
She drinks a lot. Like
Okay.
that's like a thing. Like she likes beer and shit. I was like, that's real, honestly. Shouts
Okay.
out.
So what you're telling me is she is jumping to Marigold to be Utami's drinking buddy.
If only. I'm sure she would enjoy that. But no,
S-
honestly,
Utami sure seems to.
you kind of I don't know, you kind of hinted at it on your private that's like Neo Genesis does really feel like a bargaining chip for three of these wrestlers who might have left. I never really saw Crazy Star as like a maybe leave, but I think Azumi, Miyu, and Starlight Kid were all up for debate over the past year. I
Yes.
think putting them together, they're clearly all like very close friends. They hang out all the time. So I think it was just kind of like a very easy to appease because it's like, if any one of these members left, they would not only be kind of screwing the other members, but they would also be leaving their friends that they get to wrestle with and hang out with all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like they kind of, put them in a position where it's like less likely for any of them to leave, which,
Wrestling is all about keeping your people happy. That's really it.
yeah,
Um, then that show, we then had on January
yeah, good show.
25th, Stardom Awards in Takadana Baba, day one. This was in the Bell Salva. They did 451 fans. Their production is incredible, I must say. Like this venue looked fantastic. I think the big screen for the entrance looks very good. Um, and I don't usually like the darker lighting for the crowd, but I feel like
Mm.
they screen is usually so bright and so vibrant that it kind of works. Like, it's not like just this dark, gloomy ring. There is a light and there is energy there. It's just the crowd that's kind of blacked out. And so I do think Stardom's production lately has been pretty great. And this show was one of the ones that made me go, damn, there's leagues ahead.
I didn't really know. I
Just
thought
not
it was
locked
Taco
in
Don
like I
Baba.
am.
I thought it was Taco Don Baba. Like it usually looks good. It's a good looking venue.
I don't know. It does look good, but I think it looked better this time. But maybe that's just me. In the opener, we had the debut of Akira. She took on Suzu Suzuki
Akira.
and lost in 8 minutes.
Wait, she has a
Akira,
name.
she does. It says Iron Akira.
It's Akira Kurogana. Gane Kurogane.
Kuragane. Okay, yeah, because I didn't get
Kiro?
that one.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, Akira
Kurogane. That's what it
officially
is.
very cool. I love the short hair. The gear is fantastic. It's like a
Great gear.
and silver,
Uh,
black, white. Not the generic like straps coming out of a choker. She has the jorts
it's like a
on.
turtleneck up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very.
Those
It
aren't
reminds me
jorts.
of
Those
like
are those are
a.
gym shorts.
You know what I mean? It's a joke. But it's very Sue kind of vibes from the gear
Yeah.
is what I got. The kick pads into shorts is fantastic. The one arm strap, loving the look. Very cool. A lot of fire in her comeback. Didn't get too much, which is something that they might be doing with the rookies now because Yuria didn't get much either. I thought she did show to be a very solid pro wrestler off the bat, and I think she projects very well. Like she went to the ring and was like, "I'm gonna fuck shit up," and so I think there's a lot of good here from Akira.
Yeah, I was lower on both debuts than I think most people were. Um, I agree. I think Akira and like when you look at like a lot of the things, I thought her footwork was good already. I thought that her placement was good already. I thought her fire and like just the presence was good, but it was really kind of frustrating that she just didn't do anything. Um, in like the second half, it felt like a young lion match, like a young lion
Yeah.
debut. And I'm cool with that, but that's not what I get out of Stardom usually, like out of Stardom debuts. So I was just like, oh, I was left wanting more. And then the Yuria match was even worse in that department. You know what I mean? Where it was not only is Micah worse at that sort of match than Suzu is, Suzu was a good dancing partner here, but also like I just think that Yuria just she like there was just nothing there. Not as a wrestler, but just there was nothing. If you asked me a single thing that happened in the Yuria match, I could not tell you. In this match, outside of Suzu's offense, she did a half hatch suplex. Akira did.
Yes.
That is a move that she did, and I thought it was cool. It's the only move she did. But so I thought it was good. I'm excited to see how Akira does, but I was a bit lower on than everybody else because I was like, there's a lot more to be seen that needs to be seen. Just you know,
Yeah, I
in
honestly I think a lot of people were just too amazed at seeing like fresh gear and short hair.
like a cool look,
It just kind
fresh
of blew them
gear,
away. Yeah.
but
Like I
yeah,
get it.
no,
I
I
get it.
agree.
The gear looks fantastic, but you gotta slow it down. But yeah, I know I thought there was a lot to like about Akira. I especially enjoyed the fire. I do think the resting bitch face is a very good starting point for a
Yes,
wrestler who can just be like, I will
she
fuck
scares me.
everybody up.
She
Yeah,
scares me. Like I wouldn't
solid.
wanna. I wouldn't want to look her in the eyes.
Yeah.
She's she looks like she wants to kill people for real.
But that was that. Our next match, Kyoko Katatsu, Tomoka Inaba, and Rani Agami beating Koguma, Momokogo, and Waka Tsukiyama. Tomoka Inaba pinned Waka with the Inaba Atoshi. The only real joy here is that the
They
mixed
came
match
out in
group,
masks.
yeah, they all had Siri masks and came out with her music or her Tron, and the opponents were kind of like, "What the fuck is happening?" To the Koguma Rana like bear stuff is funny. It's probably carrying these matches. Because yeah, it was like fine after that, but the lasting impression was the comedy.
Yeah, I like. It's strange that they haven't just gone like full comedy with Waka, like
She's not
100%
funny,
comedy.
so that kind of
She
hurts.
has good timing. She just doesn't do funny bits.
No, but her current gimmick is not funny. If it was Waka,
Yeah,
Devil
I'm
Waka
surprised
was
they haven't
funny.
just gone back to that or so. Like like I don't know. Like I feel like there's like because her comedic timing is very good, but none of her bits are funny right
No,
now.
the ass stuff
Um,
is not funny. Ass stuff has never been funny. Like, people need to get
you weren't
that
an ass man.
clear.
Not a Ryusuke Taguchi fan? I fucked with Ryusuke
See,
Taguchi.
Taguchi wasn't funny. He was just beast.
Yeah, Taguchi was
He
just like a
wasn't
great
funny. He was
wrestler.
good.
Like he was a
Like
great
yeah,
wrestler who would then be like, "I have a bump out of the way," and you'd go great. Like that was yeah.
yeah. Like he's
Um,
good. You know,
touche. No, yeah, Taguchi
that's
ruled.
different.
Um, uh, until like a year ago when he just kind of got
Yeah,
washed, but
shame.
that's okay. He's like 50. Like I get it.
Yeah,
But
let the man rest.
get it. But Waka. It's the little things. It's the little things, man. Waka, I don't know. She has good comedic timing. Like I thought that some of the spots in this were like funny with the mask and stuff. Uh, but I was just like, why can't you just be like, why do you have a belt right now? Like, you can be a really fun comedy character if you just like did actual comedy stuff more often. Uh, because she isn't like Kokomo. You know, what I mean, like she isn't someone that's like gonna rise to the occasion and have like absurd matches, uh, but just prefers to just do the comedy stuff. It's like she, I think she could find a why isn't she Megaton?
Yes, I get you. But yeah, next match.
Yes.
Unimizumori, Soriano, Natsupoi, and Tam Nakano beat Starlight Kid, Meisera, Azumi, and Matoi Hamabe. Unimon pinned Matoi in 14 minutes with a Higo Mokos, which is a submission, I think. And
Oh
then
yeah, she did
afterwards,
want the submission.
Cosmic Angels was like, "Hey, we're still challenging for your belts. We didn't lose. It was that loser Matoi." Um, and yeah, I can't remember much from this, but I do remember being
Me
like,
neither.
these are great pairings." But then there was a lot of Matoi. I think Kid and Natsupoi did good, if I remember correctly, or was it Soriano? But anyway, there was some good. There was some not so good.
I think it was
They
Ano
existed.
and Kid.
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
feels right because they were potentially previewing the white belt match. Now that I think
Yeah,
about it.
you know, I didn't get much out of this. Which is, you know, I think both teams are good, but I was just like, you know, it was whatever. Another match of its kind, I guess.
Yeah, gotcha. We then had a four-way tag match. Sayaka Kurara and Aya Sakura beat Hanako and Rian, as well as the teams of Hanan and Saida and Hina and Lady C. Kurara won with a Tokimeki Falcon Arrow over Rian. There's a lot of bits, a lot of hey, there's four wrestlers in the ring bits. And then the Cosmic Angels girls won, and so it was 8 minutes. It's nothing offensive. Who is
I'm
sending that many
trying
messages? Please.
I'm trying for the life of me to remember things that happened in this match, if I'm being real.
Did the
Um,
the giant swing and everybody jumps over her thing?
oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That did happen. That was cool.
Okay. Um, we
Oh, and
then
then
had
the Boston Crab, the long line of Boston Crab
yes,
headlock.
yeah, it was a lot of bits, like very much
Yeah,
just kind of people doing their shit. Who is sending so many messages? Please stop. I don't even know which of the servers it could be from, so I'm just left to suffer. Um, Shit match. Miyu Amasaki beat Azusa Inaba in 11 minutes with a Tensei. That was a really good match. Not great, but really good.
yeah,
I really like Azusa and I really like Miyu, and I thought they did well. And yeah, I mean that's it. That's just good
yeah. I
stuff.
thought this had a higher ceiling. But I
Yeah.
think it was just kind of like I think there was it wasn't off because it was a very good match. But I did feel like there was just like something a bit missing from it. But I thought it was very good. I agree. I think Zeus is great. I think Miyu's great. Uh, been happy with both of their works recently.
Hmm.
Both of their work recently. Um, how do you pluralize? It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, you
I
know,
think it's
it was
just
good.
there.
Both their work. Both of
Yeah.
their work. Is it work or works?
Work works is like a collection of things,
Yeah,
not just
their work. Yeah, okay.
yeah. No,
Words,
I
words
don't.
are. Yeah.
Americans don't do English. It's fine.
How dare you?
Um, um,
How dare you
see.
call me an American?
After the match, then Miyo Misaki was like, "Hey, I want to wrestle Hanako," and I just went,
It's
"Damn,
like, why?
yeah, let's ask him
Like
for
you're gonna
trouble."
lose. Why would you want to do
Yeah,
that?
like she's pretty tall, man. But yeah,
They
they
like her
set
a
that
lot.
up. They haven't said when it will be, but I assume it's New Blood on the 5th. Like they haven't
Mhm.
confirmed it though, but that would make a lot of sense. Um,
It would.
yeah, I think Hanako might win. I think they'll go double champion again for the New Blood scene because they
Man,
just did that with Rena. Um, so who knows?
maybe
It's
maybe they do win the trios belts.
Neo Genesis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because then only Kid is
if they
tied up
don't,
with the singles
it's true. Yeah,
in
Mia will
that
have to
team.
drop the future anyway, so that's kind of why I think
Yeah,
she's
that
gonna
too.
lose
She
Hanako.
has like a month and a half left. So yeah.
Yeah, because I can't see them heating anybody up in that time to beat her either, unless they did do an outsider thing. But they seem to have gone away from any of that. Um, and so it's kind of like either you have her drop to a random Hina thing, or it's Aya or Sayaka, who you could probably do a better story with Hanako she was the same class as Carrara,
Yeah.
no, as Aya, and then you can do like, oh hey, we were in the same training group together or whatever, and then Carrara can be like, hey, I was the group after you, but I'm still better. So yeah, I think Hanako probably presents them the most opportunity to play around with the dynamics. So he does beat Mew.
Yeah. Oh damn,
Our
they
main
broke up the LWO. That's very random. But I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. They don't
crazy.
give those motherfuckers nothing. They said you're getting
No.
even less. Um, yeah, go on.
The main event then was the Babyface Army, Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki, Siri, Saki Kashima, Maika, and Mina Shirakawa, beating Saya Kamitani, Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, Tekla, Ruaka, and Rina. Maika got the win for her team over Tekla in 16 minutes with the Michinoku driver. I thought it was a great match. Really, really enjoyed just about everything they did. Maika and Saya squared down at the end, and I was buzzing. Like, I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking do this. I thought Mina did well. I thought Momo did well. Mayu did well. Hazuki, everybody just did their part really, really well. And I coined this last week, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Hate is great. 2025. Let's go.
Big Tekla fan over here. Loves the Tekla Micah stuff. Yeah, I feel like kind of the inverse. I felt like it was like really, really good, and then Micah, not even on Micah's fault necessarily, but then Micah got in, and it was Micah and Tekla for a while. Then it was Micah and Saya, and I was just like, I don't want to watch this, because I really don't like either of those pairings. But everything
No.
else in the match was quite good. So I'm not gonna like shit on it because I don't like Micah's work with Tekla and Micah's work with uh Saya. But everything else was good. I thought Mina did especially well. I feel like Mina kind of blends into the background sometimes, but like sometimes it just like she pops, and I think this was an instance of that where she was a lot of fun.
I think she's
Um,
back. I think AEW has said no, and she's just like resigned to being good instead
she's just selling her
now.
photo
Has
books
felt a little
overseas
bit
now.
more. Yeah, she has felt a little bit
She's
more
getting that money.
impactful lately, and I could definitely see upward trajectory for her again.
Mm.
Because for a while it did seem like she was AEW bound, but at the moment, I don't even know if
As
they
far
have a
as I
spot
can
for her.
tell, I think Tony's just like, oh, I could just use her whenever, clearly.
Yeah,
So
that's
why
that's
would I
kind of what
sign
I
her?
heard. Was he was like why? Why would I sign
Because like,
anybody
why
when I
would
can
you
just
like
ask
like in
Stardom?
his mind, why would you want a Yuka Sakazaki deal on
Yeah,
your
no,
payroll?
exactly.
Because like you don't use her, you don't use
He's
her more
kind
than
of
her
got the
actual
match he
company.
needs out of her. Like he's got the Mariah May thing
Yeah,
done, and
and
she's wrestled
if he
Monet. So
like
what
I don't know,
else
I
is
feel
there?
like he could bring her in for a tag with like Tony, and like that'll be
Yeah,
like, oh, Mina still exists, isn't that cool? And then she'll be gone.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe she'll come back for an open challenge in 6 months
Possibly.
of some
It
kind.
definitely doesn't seem like they're interested in signing her as kind of they
No.
once seemed to be. Because they have slowed down on the signings, especially for the women's division. So I don't really know. But anyway, yeah, Mina definitely feels like she has trajectory upwards in Stardom again. Um, and I love the Hate entrance for the show. I really feel like Hate just has it right now. They're just the vibes are
I,
there, the look is there. They like look great together. The
I said you
entrance
were on
theme is
crack
awesome.
for this take.
Are you gonna put it out there? I wasn't
Oh yeah,
gonna.
yeah, you said that this constellation of hate is cooler or as cool as any constellation of Oedo Tai ever. And I was like, that's just incorrect. Like I don't know.
I feel like you just maybe have rose tinted glasses and forget that sometimes Weta Tai did have goobers just hanging around.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you,
100%. But when you compare it to like the peaks of the group, like this is
but even at the
nothing
peak
there.
of the group, they had Tam Nakano as a pet.
Yeah,
Like
and that was based, bro. Like that's
it
yeah,
might have been a
like
base,
with
but it
the
wasn't
black
cool.
hair chilling out.
And, and even when they had like the Jamie Hayter and they all had the army gear, they had Session Moth. So you know,
Yeah,
there was
they
always
have
somebody
Tekla.
there.
They have Tekla. What? They have Dad. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, there's a
Tekla
comedy
looks
character.
cool. Tekla looks cool at the very
Oh
least,
my god.
and she's hench. Like
I'm gonna jump
visually,
through this goddamn computer.
visually, visually, there's nothing wrong with Tackle as a wrestler. She's hench and she looks kind of cool. It's the problem is when she starts to wrestle. But before
Yeah,
that, you can kind of be like, yeah, it's fine, cool, you
I don't
know.
know. I think the Kampai Queens were at least funny. I think Kampai Queens, they occupy the space that Fukigen Death does now. I like,
Fukigen wasn't here for this, so that
and then
I don't
one to
know.
one, I think like fucking 2019 Noeda Tai washes like 7 times over.
I don't
I would
know.
take I would take any variation of Hazuki, including Yoshiko Hazuki, over the current iteration of Saya Kamitani.
Mm,
I would take
yeah, but
it. I
you're
would
just
take. I
saying
would
that.
take. I
You're
would
just
take
saying
any
that.
variation of Jamie Hayter over current Konami, uh,
Konami
or
wasn't here, so
or or Ruaka or Rina. Really, honestly, like I'm gonna be
that
real.
is absurd. Jamie
And
Hayter
those
does
are
not
my
look that
favorite wrestlers.
cool. Jamie
Those are my
Hayter does not
favorite
look
Oedo Tai
that cool.
wrestlers. Are
I'm
we?
sorry, she was
Are
not
we?
that
Are we
cool.
strictly talking about cosmetics? Like
Yeah,
about
of
like
course. They
looking
look
cool?
cool. They feel cool. Jamie Hayter didn't feel cool.
Feeling cool and looking cool are different things. Because it's like
No.
it's bro.
Listen.
I can man. Okay, who's a geek? Like Blake Christian can come out with like a full on fucking garb and it's like, "Oh yeah, that looks cool," but he isn't cool.
Can't pull it
Like you
off.
like I, anybody could pull off looking cool for 10 seconds. Like it's not that hard.
Okay, but hate
Wear a
also feels
mask.
cool. Hate also feels cool.
I disagree. I mean,
Well,
I think
the ShuPro voters agree with me because Saya Kamitani was sixth in the voting, so they clearly
yeah, but
like Saya Kamitani and think she's
I
cool.
already said I think the Shoe Pro voters are a bit, I don't know about all that. They're a bit out there. Um,
This is
it's
absurd.
like
Anyway,
look at that list, man. I don't know. Falls off after Tanahashi. But no, I don't know. I disagree with you.
all right, you would. We then had on January 26th, Stardom Awards 2024 in Takadanobaba, day 2. This is when they actually handed out the awards. They had 451 fans in the Takadanobaba. Maika beat Princess Yuria, which is Yuria Hime, in 9 minutes in her debut with a Shibori.
This is
Um,
too long. I'm realizing that was also a thing. I was like, this is a whole minute longer than the Suzu one. Didn't need to be.
Yuria has also got nice, unique gear. But didn't get to do as
Kinda.
much, and I thought she didn't show as much fire as Akira.
I think
She
she did
does
more than Akira,
project.
but I don't think she did as well.
Yeah, I would.
Like
But I
I
do.
think
I
one
think
for
the
one,
look
I think she did a
is
couple more
good.
moves, like a couple more like
Yes,
unique things. But
her
I
leg
think
drop
everything
stuff
else
is
did.
awesome.
Yeah,
That one
yeah,
step up
exactly.
leg drop thing is really cool.
I like that.
Yeah. But yeah. Um, that's what I'm wondering is because clearly there's been a shift to Micah and Suri kind of being associated more with the trainees. I wonder if this is their idea is like you're gonna eat shit like off bat, and then you have to earn your moves instead of just debuting as a normal wrestler, kind of as they had been. Like less Miyu Masaki, who has a bunch of submissions and DDTs and more showing fire and forearms.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Because I
interesting.
can't remember Matoi, but I feel like Matoi also
Matoi
just
was
kind
doing
of got
more
beat up.
than this,
I
but
guess, yeah, she
Matoi had judo.
yeah, but Yuri a boxer apparently. She is a gravure kickboxer. She should be the best wrestler of all time,
Yeah,
and they had
I
her
think that's why
throwing
it's
forearms.
strange that I was like,
Yeah,
what are you doing? Because like her description is very different from what we actually got. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
But I am
She
interested if
has
this
a
is
good
a
look.
new road they're going with rookies and kind of a slower burn to start off with.
If she gets good, she's like a. Well, actually, I don't know. Like who? I don't know who these people care about. Um, because like when I look at Yuria, I'm like, oh, if she was in Marigold, she's like Sari's top rival. Um,
Yes.
like
She-
off the look
she's
alone.
challenging mine next month.
And
Like
I mean, given her background, Fuka would have like eaten her up. Like she would have been like, "This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me,"
yeah.
besides the children, obviously. Um, so it's like I think I think when I look at Yuria, I'm just like I don't know what they see in her. I know what Rossi would have seen in her, and that would be like next big thing. type shit. But I'm interested to see where she goes. 'Cause she does have a good look, and she like is athletic. Um, it
Yeah.
just isn't like she isn't a pro wrestler yet. I think Akira is a pro wrestler. Like right immediately. I think It's gonna take a couple more matches.
Yeah, I getcha. Micah also not good at the working down to a rookie thing like
No,
Utami,
no.
but this reminds me exactly of where Utami was 2 years ago because she had to like start working down and went, oh shit, how
Two
do I
years
do
ago,
that? And then she learned. Yeah,
3 years ago.
roughly, wasn't it? Oh yeah, Jesus, even
She
longer.
started getting
'Cause-
good. Like she started getting good at everything 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause the year
But yeah,
before that, she
that's an
was.
adjustment everybody has to make, and we're taking on the fly. But yeah, that was fine. We then had a UWF rules match. Kyoka Kotatsu beat Aya Sakura when she had her tap out in 8 minutes. Um, yeah, just watch whatever clips ended up online, where they clip the good stuff because the rest was whatever.
I
Aya
also
is
saw.
like brand new to this style, so you can tell
Yeah,
she just wasn't at home in it.
but I think for someone who has never probably even thought about doing a UWF match until like a week or two ago, I did quite well. I thought Kotatsu did fine. Um, I think the struggle was this went 8 minutes. I would say the first 3 or 4 minutes felt very fake, which is kind of like
But yeah,
the worst thing you can call a UWF match.
that's
Um,
true.
because like the whole point is, oh, it's a bit less flashy, but it looks more realistic, and that's kind of the trade-off, and sometimes that's really cool. Obviously, like you wouldn't necessarily agree with that because you just generally don't like UWF matches, but I would say that like there is like you can succeed in a UWF match with that formula. You know, what I mean, it's like, oh, it's looks more realistic, it's a bit less flashy, but you can really make magic with that. I think the first half of this did not. I thought it looked like a you know a fake fight in all in every sense of the phrase. But I think the second half I really liked. I thought it started to really like they started to click a little bit better. I liked that it felt like I was really just like going for it, just going for whatever she could. Kotatsu, I think, does do well in those like clippable moments, so to speak. Like I think when she kind of has like room to kind of figure out the flow, she can really like throw a cool ass kick and do some cool sequences. I thought the later part of the match showed that, but I thought the first half was just really hard to get through.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I'm not gonna disagree. I don't like these kinds of matches anyway. So yeah, I think we live in a day and age where everybody's gonna clip all of the cool shit. So just go and like look at that, basically. Um, so yeah, that was that. I don't love Aya being thrown into the deep end in this sort of thing. I feel like she slightly came off as just out of her depth.
What the fuck?
Um, but
Oz is running Dash versus Aoki in a special singles.
that's absolutely beast. I
Holy
didn't know
shit.
Dash worked Oz. When did that happen?
Uh, Dash is Ozaki's replacement. Ozaki got hurt.
Ah, right. Or Ozaki.
Damn. In face. Damn. I'm fucking
Ooh.
fired.
Lady C and Matoi beating Mina Shirakawa, Wakasuyama, Hanako, and Rian. Saki pinned Rian in 10 minutes with the super hot. Is this the
Super
first time Matoi
hot.
hasn't taken a fall in the match that she's in? I was like, oh yeah, Matoi's losing, and then she did not.
I could have swore she's won technically before, but yeah, she doesn't
Okay.
usually. So
Yeah.
good for her.
All right. Saki getting heated up season.
Yeah, super hot. Yeah.
Um,
I don't know what
we
she's gonna
had,
do.
I don't know, white
Who?
belt maybe.
Maybe tag belts. I think her and Shuri is like they
Yeah,
should
yeah.
probably challenge for the tags.
We had Hazuki and Koguma beat Siri and Rana Yagami in our next one. Koguma rolled up Rana with 20% Schoolboy in 13 minutes. Siri and Rana's
No bear.
Tron had no bear, and that is incredibly funny. Rana also has decided she is a savior from the bear, and Siri kind of takes a back seat, which is also very funny. 13 minutes was probably a little bit too long for a match with Rana. She has no credibility. She is still like very much one note in what she does. I don't know if she can
Yeah.
carry 13 minutes of a match.
And
Um,
Shuri was not in there much,
Jerry didn't do
relatively.
much. they did a brief Hazuki Suri thing, as far as I can
Mhm.
recall.
It was good.
But it
It
was
was
a
good.
lot of Koguma Rana.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was just a little bit too much, but it was fun
I think
regardless.
FWC is just kind of good. You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah, dude, shocker. And I like
yeah.
Rana. Don't get me wrong. Like I appreciate Rana, but you can only do so much with some wrestlers.
Did Oh yeah, Rana was in the bad block. Cuz I was going to say I feel like Rana had to have done the Koguma match in the 5-star, but no, she was in
No,
the
she had the good Saya match where she just ate shit
That
for
was good.
Saya,
Yes, that was
and
good.
it was everybody going, "Oh, Saya's not actually awful. It was just running heel versus heel was stupid."
Yeah, but then Sai had like another doesn't matter.
Shh,
It was years ago.
shh.
It was years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought the match was like good, but it did overstay its welcome a bit. I think they formatted it so that it's like the big payoff was Koguma finally getting the bear pose on Shuri. So it's like they expended their time in a way that made sense, but in between like the beats, the story beats, so to speak, I didn't think the work was like super great, but it was good enough for me to be like, yeah, that was a good match.
All right. After the match, then like I don't do the Kuma. We shouldn't do the Kuma. Let's to have a singles match at Cork, and if I win, you will my faction do the Kuma thing again. And Siri was like, please, please, for the love of God, do it. And yeah, Koga was like, fine, sure, let's do it. So yeah, the,
But
the
if
the
if Koguma
Kuma is on the
wins,
line.
then Rana has to do a her own Kuma. She has to do it herself, and she has to do it
Incredible.
passionately. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We didn't discuss it because I wasn't sure when to bring it up, but Rana has new gear and it's very Siri coded.
Oh, it's just
And
Shuri's old gear.
yeah, and I'm just kind of like, I like it, but it's also very random to just debut it in
Yeah.
tags.
Like this is the
There's
gear
no.
that was on our art back in the day.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see. I was like, oh, that is Siri's gear, but I didn't want to say fully it was Siri's gear.
Yeah.
Rana, maybe dye your hair again, Rana. Because she has a very Mako style hair. She could probably just like look like Mako for a little bit and kick people. Might be fun. Um. Anyway, our next match is Mai
What a
Utani.
funny comparison.
Mai Uetani, Hunan apparently is her name now. Saida Momokogo beating Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, Unimizumori, and Sayaka Kurara. Hunan pinned Unimizumori in 12 minutes with a blockbuster hold, which is just the
That
backdrop
she did.
driver. Um,
No, 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 it's not. It's the
no?
cutie special.
Yes, yes, I remember now. Um, yeah, this is a good match. I mean, I like everybody involved. Cosmic Angels are good at what they do. I think Natsupoi again did well with somebody, but I can't remember who. And they did some Tam Mayu, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Oh, it was Ida. Yes, Natsupoi
Yeah,
and Ida
Natsume
did.
and Nita were in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I felt like I don't know, like I said, I wasn't too crazy about these shows. I felt like a lot of the stuff in this match was half cooked, which is interesting because I feel like so many star matches nowadays are overcooked. Um, but like I definitely could have used some more Mayu Tam. Um,
yeah. This
you know,
show
I,
had a
I
lot of less energy than the 25th. Like the 25th was vibes,
yes,
and then this show was everybody kind of being like, okay, I'm tired.
and I didn't love the 25th either, so this was like a down step from something that I
I
wasn't
enjoyed the
super high on.
25th. Even
I thought
Scott
25th
liked the
was fine.
25th. Scott came out of that show with the 25th like, yes, I am a
I'm starting
Bushi
to
bro.
think I'm starting to think that like I like wrestling less than Scott. Well, Scott loves wrestling right now. Scott's
Dude,
having a great time.
Scott's on his bag. Like I
Yeah,
respect
I'm
that man
I'm
a lot.
I'm not. But I thought this match was a bit half baked in a lot of instances.
Yeah, I got you.
Though like there wasn't anything bad about it, so I'm not gonna say it was bad because it wasn't. But I
Yeah,
could have used some more Mayu Tam, for instance. I could have used some more Ida. I would have loved some Ida Unimon. I know that wasn't the pairing they went
yeah.
with, but I would have enjoyed some of that. Just do a power segment. I'm kind of
Mhm.
thirsting for power segments in this company because Marigold took them all.
Marigold does
Uh,
all of them. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I was like, I don't know, I want to see Ida do some like give me my Ida back, man.
she did it with Hanako one recently, but I know what you mean.
Listen to yourself,
Um,
man.
after the match, Tam threw a headbutt at Mayu, which is
Yeah,
incredible, and just
and
walked
I was like,
off.
what the fuck?
Yeah, they have to be wrestling for the IWGP soon, surely.
I think
Because
Tam has to beat her.
Probably. I don't know who else beats Mayu. Um, Website that was doing the whole like, oh, Mayu should like beat Inoki's defense record or something. I was like, nah. Like,
Well, no,
there's no
that was
fucking
Mayu's.
way.
That was Mayu's. Not it's not Noki's. It's Okada's. Um,
You sure? I'm pretty sure they mentioned Inoki.
no, I'm pretty sure Okada got the the record
Maybe it's they
with his.
mentioned Inoki because the- it's fashioned after the belt he held. You know, 'cause isn't the women's title just inspired by like the second version of the IWGP World?
Yes, it's inspired by
Yeah,
the. I always think of it as the Shinya Hashimoto version, but
right. Maybe I
yeah,
don't know. I just
Okada has 12 defenses. That's what
okay.
they're going for.
Right.
That's what she's going for. I don't know what number she's at yet.
8, 9
She's only at
maybe?
8.
Across 2 years because they just didn't defend it for a while there because she had, did she defend it that January?
She's at
She had
9.
9, yeah, I thought so.
That's a
Yeah, 'cause
shame. I think it would have been a great story if they could have gotten, 2 more defenses in, and like she's trying to tie the record but can't.
yeah,
Would have been cool.
but I
Um,
don't think they should keep it on her. She's probably losing to Tam,
well, that's
probably.
what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I
Um,
wish they could have gotten a couple more
Mayu's
in.
had this belt so long that she defended against Vacker. When you think about that,
I mean,
that's crazy.
she's had so long that like Kyrie was around when she won it.
Yes, yeah. Who did she beat? Oh yeah, she beat
She
Monet for
beat
it. Yeah.
Monet, but Kyrie was on that show.
That she was, yes, restart. Oh my
Hmm.
god. I remember that now. Anyway, our next match was a number one contenders match for the World of Stardom Championship. Beat Soriano in 11 minutes with a jackknife shrimp hold. I thought this was a well done match. They kept a lot in their bag, obviously, because they
Yeah,
weren't going all out in a number one contenders match. Rena, super solid, stepping up to the plate. I think her and Kid is going to be an interesting one. She probably does eventually have to take that next step, but for where she is and for how old she is, I think her in ring work is solid enough to get her by.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I thought that this was the interesting result. I thought they might do
I
Ano,
agree.
but I think it's just a much more ballsy move on their part to just go, look, we're gonna use all of our roster, get everybody involved if we like them, and get her a white belt match.
See, I picked Soriano in our Joshi Fantasy League, so I was kind of hoping Soriano would win.
Oh yeah.
Um, I was hoping she would win the white belt too. Well, no, I have kids, so I don't need her to win. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I forgot that kid's my number one pick. Um, so don't win, Rena. Now I'm looking at you. Don't win. Uh, no pink devil shock. But I felt like this match was a solid outing. I will say I think sometimes Soriano really clicks with someone and sometimes she doesn't really. I didn't think she necessarily clicked super well with Rena, but I thought they still did good work and they had a solid match here. Because it felt like I don't know, like Suriano's a really interesting wrestler in that regard, where it's like sometimes it just is so perfect. Like I think that Hanan match last year is a really good example of that. Um, where it's just like, holy fuck, these two were like born to wrestle each other. Suriano has that with a few people, but you kind of want to see that even in these smaller instances, and I don't necessarily think that was what came out, but it was still a good match. I still enjoyed it.
Agree. Um, we then went into the main event, which was Suzu Suzuki, Starlight Kid, Mei Seira, Azumi, and Miyo Masaki beating the Hate Squad of Saya Kamitani, Natsuko
Let's go.
Tora, Watanabe, Tekla, and Ruaka. Suzu Suzuki got the win for her team over, I think, Saya with tequila shot in 11 and a half minutes, or was it Tekla? Because it's not showing me. Um,
Oh, she
Suzu
beat
won
Ruaka.
anyway. Should be Ruaka, okay. Yes, I know they did a Suzu Saya portion of the match that I
They
really
did.
enjoyed. Um, and yeah, I thought this was like a lesser version of the main event. It was just another like hate, the baby faces overcome hate thing. But Neo Genesis are good, so obviously it was still good. You
Yeah.
know,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. um,
I
he
this is
didn't.
another one of those matches where I was like, that was a match that happened. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it was there.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, especially because it's kind of similar to the match from the day before that we already kind of dived into. Um, So Suzu is getting a real head of momentum. Don't remember them ever going this hard for a challenger. Like I know they're usually 50-50, but I feel like she's won every match she's been in for the past month, which is very
She won a
interesting. Like they're
tournament throughout the time
yeah,
since she's
yeah,
last
like
challenged
they've
for the
they've
belt.
they've gotten her as probably the hottest challenger they've ever had for the belt since the new guys came in. It's very interesting to see them
Well,
just fully
I
get behind
I
her.
am interested. I feel like they've tried a lot, and I think that's really cool. From as a booking team, because it's like I feel like this is the first time they're trying like like a challenger that's like really like they're. I feel like the Saya run, unfortunately, is going to be a long haul one. Uh, in that like they're going to flesh out every challenger as much as possible before running the match. Uh,
Hope so.
Whereas I feel like, with the Tam run, it was like, oh, Micah's here, oh, Suzu's here, oh, Saya's here, and she lost. It's like, oh,
Yes.
okay, that went by in a flash. I mean, it was a good reign. Like the matches were fine. The matches were good, in fact. But uh, and same with the Micah run. It felt like a lot wasn't really getting fleshed out. Uh, like there were good matches, but it didn't feel like anything was like really like invested in. Anybody was really invested in throughout that run. Whereas yeah, immediately you see Suzu really getting ahead of steam to try to take down the champion. And I do appreciate that. Um, Even if sometimes it leads to like repetitive matches like this. You know,
Yes, kind of. Uh, the other kind of main takeaway from this weekend is that they are doing a Micah Tekla storyline. So Micah, in her post-match comments, was kind of like, "I'm really not happy that you left and like joined Hate, and you've kind of gone down this path." And after the match on the 25th, Micah kind of
Michael
like
looks like
offered
such a
her,
nerd.
yeah, Micah offered her hand and then like stopped her punching her and just went, "Nah, we don't do that." And Tekla was like, "Okay."
No,
And
no, no. What she did was the DDM thing.
oh, she made her put her hands together. That makes a lot more sense.
That's why I said she looked like a nerd.
That she did. Tekla then crashed, so Micah won the MVP award for Stardom, and
Yeah.
Tekla like gate crashed and was like, "Yeah, I'm here, but you can have the award anyway. But I'm here."
Oh, she did the
Um,
Kanye reference.
yeah, she did.
She said, "Imma let you finish, but," and I was like, "Oh, Jesus."
Sometimes Tekla's kind of iconic. I won't lie. Um, but yeah, they're doing this like Micah Tekla storyline at the moment, and I'm not a fan of like the second consecutive "you left DDM and I'm not happy" story because we just did that with Natsupoi, and as I said with Natsupoi, DDM is long gone. Like I don't have any care about Tekla leaving DDM
Okay, to
behind
be
because
fair
DDM is gone.
no, to be fair, I think that this one is a more valid one than the, Natsupoi one, because DDM just died a year ago this month, and Micah and Tekla were with it till the end. Natsupoi left DDM years ago, like, legitimately years ago.
That is true, but
So, like, I
I'm
think
still
and it
not
also is
sure.
like an immediate reaction, you know what I mean? Like Natsupoi being mad at Tekla for turning heel, like Natsupoi turned on DD, that just made no sense. This is at least
Yes.
like we all went our separate ways, but we thought we'd be cool. What the fuck,
Yeah.
bro? Like that at
Yeah.
least makes like New Japan
Michael's
ran this
definitely
with
more judgmental.
Ran this with Desperado and Kanemaru. You know what I mean? Where it's
Uh,
like Suzuki Gun broke up, and then like a year later, Kanemaru turned heel. And Despy's like, "We haven't been like, teammates for a while, but what the fuck, bro? This is kind of fucked up. Like, this is like, why are you being an asshole?" And that was like what started renewed their rivalry type thing. So I think like in theory, I don't think this is like a problem. Certainly not as logically flawed as the Natsupoi one is, but in practice, I don't want to see this pairing like at all. Uh, I'm begging them to find someone that Tekla just clicks with, and I don't think Mike is that person. But I'm
no.
willing to be wrong.
I'm
Willing to be
also
wrong.
just I feel like it's a weird use of Micah. And
Well, she has
like
to get her win back from hate,
that's true. Yeah, yeah. I guess I don't know. I feel like Tekla is too much of a like
yeah,
mid card stopgap for
and
people.
she did
That
already beat her. She pinned her
she
clean as a
did,
whistle
she
like a
did.
couple of years
So
ago.
it's an interesting use of Micah, but it does keep her with something to do. I guess that is something that the new bookers like is they kind of
I'm more
their
worried
main
there's going to
people
be a
are always in
wager
stories.
involved. not worried, but I think that's like I feel like that's a possibility. Is
I
that
laid
they
this
like
out as a joke, but like April, Micah versus Saya, Tekla doing will she won't she in the middle. It's gonna happen. Maybe, but I don't know. So we'll have to see. But
and
I am
again
kind
that
of
would
interested.
I would hate that, but that would make sense because the initial Tekla turn was on EXV, even though she wasn't in the group
Oh my god, that's right. I
a year ago
remember 'cause she
in
rolled out
April, a
and
year
was
ago in
like,
April.
"Hey,"
Yeah,
yeah, she just strolled out and was like, "Hey, I'm bad now." And we were like, "Okay,
she strolled
sure."
out and was gonna help Mina because Mina was friends with Micah, and
Oh
Mina spoke
yes,
English
yeah.
and Tekla spoke English, and it's like, oh, this all makes sense. And then she's like, no, I'm an evil person, and that was yeah. She said that word
What
for
an
word.
interesting year we've had.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a Stardom Cork and on the 2nd of February. It is Stardom Supreme Fight as part of their 14th anniversary celebrations. It is in Cork and Hall. A lot of people have said that it is sold out and they might be putting extra tickets on sale. So this could be one of the most like packed Corkins we've seen for Stardom since that way to make in 2020. Um, in the pre-show, it is the two new trainees wrestling, which I think is a very interesting spot. Like they're both normal wrestlers now, but they're on the pre-show against each other instead of on the actual card. So
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, it would have been.
Um,
I would have liked it if they were on the actual card
yes,
because
same.
I feel like you need to get them in front of people's eyes,
Guess
like
there's nowhere for
wrestling.
them considering the construction of the card. But
Mm.
maybe not. The show presumably opens then with Maika, Mini Shirakawa, Wakisuyama, and Hanako versus Momo Watanabe, Tekla, Rina, and Azusa Inaba. I would imagine this is a win for EXV. You can maybe do Momo Mina. Maybe the Blue Blood rivalry renews, and then Micah and Tekla kind of pair off. Imagine EXV wins because they're kind of OP at the moment with Micah and Mina.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
would say so.
Okay.
Well, maybe
Um.
Rena gets the win over like Waka, set her up.
Maybe.
That is Rena, right?
Oh. Yeah.
Or is that Ruaka? Yeah, it's
I
Rena.
would
Then
assume
yeah,
it's Rena.
because
Okay.
I'm reading in the Japanese, like I don't have it translated,
All right. Okay.
so I couldn't tell.
We have May Sarah versus Hina versus Rian, which is the return of the Rian. No, that's not Rian. It was Matoy. But it's Rian now, and it's the three-way that will be second on the card. Cool. May Sarah probably wins.
Yes.
All right.
Or hmm,
Hina is not gonna win over Rian.
I was just trying to think of like a defense for Miss Sarah, but no, that's not coming from here.
Probably not. We have a singles match, Kuma Contra. It is Koguma versus Ronnie Agami. If Koguma loses, he will not force God's Eye to do the Kuma pose in future. But if Ronnie Agami loses, she will do the Kuma with all her might. Translations never translate to the woman pronouns, so it's always him and his. You have
Yeah.
to kind of crack it in in your head. But yeah, so I'd imagine Koguma wins that. They're not going to take away the Kuma spot from God's Eye.
If Kokomo loses, then she's leaving because that's half of the roster that just can't do her gimmick.
Or she'll just
and
do it anyway.
she loses to Rana. But
Yeah,
no,
well, that too.
that was a joke. That was a joke. I'm not saying that, but I
All
think
right.
Kokomo should just win.
She
Like
should. She probably will.
she should beat Rana, make her do the gods
Yeah,
or make her do
who knows?
the Kuma. Maybe Rana
Um,
will win from then on.
Possibly. We have Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara versus Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Fukigen Death. Probably a hate win because they have Tora there at least. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We have Mai Utani, Hanan, Hazuki, Momokogo, and Matoi Hamabe versus Siri, Saki Kashima, Lady Seeds, Moki Inaba, and Kyoko Kotatsu. They really are going heavy on Mayu Siri. I would almost consider that they're gonna do a Mayu versus Siri rematch, but I don't know, and they would do that.
Rana
So
win. Yeah.
sure, unless they ran it in America, maybe.
In
But
April?
that's and yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't hold off that long, I don't think. So yeah, probably not. Um, yeah, strange one that they're doing, but yeah, this probably is a God's Eye win because they have Tomoka and Kotatsu, and Matoy is right there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. We have an Artist of Stardom
It'd
Championship
be
match.
funny if
Tam
this was where Stars blew up.
is a Korkin. These are actually
And
yeah. These are
Matoy
the
is
two.
well, actually, this the
Yeah,
thing is that
Matoy is between the two, isn't she?
yeah, Ida
Believe.
Ida isn't here. That's the one thing. But
Yeah.
she's hurt, so it's like it makes sense. Um, yeah, because I could see like Matoy. Maybe something does actually happen here. Maybe
Maybe.
Matoy is courted officially by Stars and she denies them and Stars blows up, or the alternative. I don't know. Either way, Matoy should probably go to Stars. So I
Yes.
don't think that should happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, we shall. We have an Artist of Stardom Championship match. Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Siri Ano take on Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki. Um, for some reason, I feel like Natsupoi might pin Kid to get her pin back again. Um, and Cosmic Angels will retain. I like Neo Genesis could like believably beat this trio, but I also think Kid and Natsupoi are just too inseparable forever, and so
Mhm.
Natsupoi might pin Kid just to be like, "Hey, I'm still just as good as you."
See, I feel like Kid could beat Natsupoi and easy peasy.
Maybe, maybe. We're not
Uh,
factoring Suriano, but I don't think they would have Ano pin
maybe Ano over Miyu.
Kid.
Like
Mm,
I think that's
maybe,
what they would run.
possibly, but I think we
They're
could
both
see Kid involved in
run
the
down
in
bad.
the pinfall just because of the white belt.
Yeah, but I also think that's why they wouldn't put her in the fall, just like to keep it from being messy. She already has a challenger coming up. Uh,
They don't mind Messi.
touche. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Neo Genesis should probably win,
Yeah,
especially if if they're it seems like they're going to be the main focus for a while moving forward. So you should probably just put the belts on them. Plus, you
I
have an
like.
easy, Miyu can lose easily,
Yeah,
like
that's
in the
true.
future. Like
I like
I
that
don't know
they
who beats Cosmic Angels right now if it's not these three.
hate in some form because they have a number. Um, yeah, I
I
like that
almost
these
just yelled.
belts are just become thing because they were disappeared for a
Yeah,
while, but now they're just like, hey, Corkin's around. Let's
they
do a cool
started doing
trios
that
match.
a couple years ago, but it was
They
always so
did.
start stop. They would just be like, and then it doesn't exist anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
and like these belts didn't exist at all last year. It feels like.
Yeah, they've kind of been up and down, but they are back in now, so that's good.
Yeah,
Um, we then have the World of Stardom Championship match. Saya Kamitani takes on Suzu Suzuki. Saya is definitely retaining. This is V1.
yeah.
Um, and I'm fascinated to see what kind of the crowd heat they're going to get here. Like, this is her. Suzu's been built up well. This show out, they might like super sell out. Um, both are popular to a degree. Saya is more popular. Um, I'm just fascinated to see what the crowd would be like. I think they could have a great match here. Uh, kind of spurred on by the red hot crowd.
Mm.
Yeah, I do wonder if they're gonna do something with Suzu. I don't know if you can do it now because Crazy Star are kind of next up for Wingori, but people have kind of hinted that she might go heel because she's gonna lose her third title match in the span of like three or 4 months. So
I don't think turning Suzu heel is the move.
no, probably not, unless they needed to, but they don't need to, as far as I'm
Yeah, I
aware.
mean, like I don't know why they would. Like I feel like there's more to her being in Neo Genesis than there is to her not being in Neo Genesis. But then again,
Yeah.
like
She
people
also
love
does feel
turning
like the
people
odd
heel.
one out in Neo Genesis though. Like her energy
Yes.
doesn't really fit with the rest. But if they wanted to, then they could. But
Yeah, and like
I'm
but
saying that
but that's the thing. I kind of felt that for a while. That's like, oh, this like Suzu feels like the one that could just turn. Um, but if Neo Genesis is going to continue being a thing, I think you should not turn Suzu. That's my forethought. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I think
If
they could do without her.
I don't really. I think you need 5 people, um,
Well, they
and
could get somebody else. There's no like shortage of wrestlers floating about.
in that age group, yeah,
Yeah,
um,
like Tomoka is right there, and there's enough people in God's Eye for Tomoka to defect.
that's true.
I'm not. I'm not sure though.
I
I saw some speculation about that because this is another
well,
Suzu, and it's like,
the
how
story.
do you do this?
Ooh, actually, yeah, because the idea was kind of that it's like everybody's gonna have belts except for her. Because that was the initial thought was if Azumi wins the IWGP,
Yeah.
she didn't. But now if they win the trios, then
Oh,
everybody will have a belt except
yeah,
for Suzu, and Suzu could feel like the odd person out. But
yeah. Mm,
I don't know. Like I said, it feels like Neo Genesis is like a way to keep all the friends content. So maybe
it does.
uh, I don't know, like maybe right after all the contracts are signed, they're like, okay,
Suzu is
we're taking it
also
all away.
they also let her do the Barb Sasaki deathmatch show, so I feel like
Hmm.
that's part of keeping her happy. So I don't know, but I don't know. Suzu's
But
an interesting
you
one.
get my point.
I
There's
do,
always a
I do.
possibility that that they get all the contracts signed and they're like, we're killing the faction. Fuck you.
Yeah, you can't
Suck it
do
for
that
another
with
year.
these 1 year deals.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. Suzu is one who like sometimes I think she should be in hate. She just fits their vibe so well. But then I think they would have to lose somebody to like
Well,
make
see,
room
you know
for
the
her.
fascinating thing is that, and I know we're going super long already, so
Yeah,
we gotta,
it's fascinating.
yeah. But I think an interesting thing is that it's like I think Suzu and Hazuki are both miscast technically.
Yeah,
Like I think they both would maybe not be better as heels, but I think they both would do better as heels than any current heel in the company, frankly. Um,
very
but
true.
I don't necessarily want either of them to turn heel
I feel
because
like
like
Suzu could do it. I feel like Suzu might get some of her energy back because I just don't feel it
I,
with this
I no,
version of Suzu.
I feel like we're gonna get way less energy from Suzu if she turns heel. I think that's the problem.
Mm, I mean, it worked for Azusa. Like Azusa really unlocked something. She dyed her hair, got darker clothes, like
But
and
that's because
emotes
like
more.
Azusa
Like
was
why?
was
What if Suzu is the same? She
Azusa
gets
was growing. Azusa was on a constant upward trajectory, and like this was just like a cool,
yeah, I
boost to
guess.
her character. I don't think Suzu is like going to grow inherently from turning heel. I think she might get back to like her style a couple years ago, like the
I don't
prominent
think you
style.
can anymore.
I don't
I don't
think
think
so
she's
either.
got that step.
So I just don't. I think that there is more risk to turning Suzu heel in terms of like quality of in
Maybe.
ring work.
I
But
don't know.
I don't think that's a problem with the Hazuki. I'm not saying Hazuki should turn heel. In fact, I think if they turn Hazuki heel, I'll be very upset. Because
Say if there was a world where like Tekla does get signed, and then maybe
I
Momo is like, "Screw this, I'm out."
turns babyface or leaves.
Suzu would fit the mold very well, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
see,
saying Momo is gonna leave.
but
I'm
I
not
think
saying Momo is
I
gonna
don't.
turn
Yeah, I don't.
face.
Well,
Although
maybe Momo's the one that
there are
gets
some
signed.
hints. There are some definitely hints to Momo and Tekla not getting along anymore. So there's some stuff
I
there
would love it
maybe.
if Momo turned babyface or at least tweener. Just turned
Yeah.
away from hate. But I will say I think the problem I've had with hate or with Oedo Tai even too, in recent years is that it always feels like they are bandaging something, rather
Yeah.
than like
Kind of.
actually doing something. Because like I mean, look at like both of Konami's turns. There was
The second
no,
one was damaging. That was just she wants to be heel.
oh yeah, that was just because
I mean, the Siri storyline
God's
basically.
Eye died, and she was like, I don't want to be in this sinking ship.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Um, but no, I think so much. I mean, Momo was bandaging. You know what I mean? Like because
Oh yeah, for
Konami
sure.
left.
Yeah,
Like that.
we know that much.
I think that's what I was thinking is that it's like Konami has been involved in so many bandage moments in Oedo Tai hate history, uh, and like I don't know. I think there has to be more. I don't want Suzu to be the bandage heel. for Tekla leaving or leaving.
Yeah, but you have to do bandaging with a weighted tie, or people get upset. Well, a weighted tie slash hate. Like, if there's not a clear role to fill, people tend to go, "Oh my god, what?" Um, so like maybe I'll cut them some slack. But I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
just saying,
it's not a matter of me
Suzu.
like
Like, if it's me, I'm not having Suzu just lose another big match for no reason. Like, she has to. Something has to come of this. Whether that's sending her off to ice ribbon again or turning her heel, I feel like something has to happen if she's going to lose another big match already.
I
Maybe
don't know.
not. Maybe they don't care.
I think I think you forget that like most of the wrestlers in this company are like on 0 and 20 streaks with title matches.
Yeah, but hers is like literally within the space of 12 months. Like, usually they space it out a bit better, but this would be her third
Well, that's
world
because
title
I think
loss.
it's just because like I mean, Momo has lost that many in 12 months.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, suppose.
Which I mean, hey, I'm saying she's turned babyface to ignite something. So maybe maybe we're on the same wavelength with different
Yeah,
wrestlers. But who's to say? We'll see.
yeah. But that is that for Stardom. It's time
Mm,
to get on to Marigold. Um,
AMG.
yes, I don't think there's any news from Marigold to cover. Everybody's happy and healthy, I guess. Let's see.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Um, yeah, there's no real stuff happening outside the company either that I can remember, because
Mm.
my mind has turned to mush. But anyway, this was Marigold New Year's Golden Garden Day 5. This was at the Yokohama Radiant Hall in front of 235 fans, which I actually couldn't tell you if that's good, bad, or indifferent, because I
It
am
felt like there
not.
was 10 people there,
Yeah, but I am
and
not
I
pulling
saw
up
all of
their
them, and half of them were
promo.
fucking yawning.
Yeah. Yeah. This show opened with Riara beating Ryoko Sakamura in 7 minutes. I like this. I thought this was probably
Yes,
the
did I.
best we've seen of Ryoko. Her strikes had a lot of oomph for once, which is kind of my only problem with Ryoko. And Riara is very good. She's just something different. She works very snug. She has her own kind of sense of self, her own sense of style. Um, and I enjoyed this for what it was. Just a very neat opener.
I thought both of Ryoko's matches on this weekend were quite good.
I
For
didn't
her
watch the second
experience
one
level.
because they had
The
it on
Naho
Wrestle
match
Universe
was
as a
good.
three-way, but it was
Yeah.
actually a singles, and now I'm upset.
Wait, who got hurt?
Sari got sick, and I think they
Oh,
rearranged the
okay.
card. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Because yeah, that was also very good because Naho and Ryoko really just click.
um,
So yeah, I was happy with this match. Riara is somebody that I'm kind of still getting used to. I don't really have a read on her personally yet. I know she's solid, but I don't really she hasn't clicked with me yet.
wow,
But I
okay,
do like I do like what she brings to the table, and I think it could be really cool.
all right, um,
Because this was a good match. Like I'm not saying
yeah.
that it's like she sucks, but no, this was good. I was
No,
happy with.
that's fair. That's fair. Now Ishikawa and Yuki Mishiro beat Naho Yamada and Rei Seto in 6 minutes. Now and Yuki are doing this "we hate each other" thing, which is kind of fascinating. Like, they slapped each other before the
Oh,
bell.
they were beating the fuck out of each other. Yeah.
It's crazy, and they still won. The poor Naho is never going to
They
win a
won, and
match.
then backstage they were like pulling at each other's hair, and then they're like, "Wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait, we won. We should probably not hate." It. And then they started fighting again. So yeah,
I really like. I feel like this is to pick up from her because Twin Tower can't finish that story they were telling, so maybe they're going to tell it with Now and Yuki Mishiro. Because Twin
listen
Tower
to
were
Ryoko say help.
obviously going to get back together and realize that's what they needed to win the tag belts, but Koki has no ACL, so you need a stopgap. So hopefully it is Now and Yuki, or they just break up and have a singles match, because that would be pretty cool. But yeah,
I think now and Yuki should definitely challenge for the belts before anything.
yeah,
Before they break up if they do break up.
solid. But yeah, that was a solid match as well. I like all four. For once, Rei Seto was the worst wrestler in a Marigold match, which hasn't happened very often. But you know what? Fair play to Rossi for getting that depth for one show only. Um, Tank beat Minami Yuki in 5 minutes, which is just a squash.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't watch that.
Goto and Natsumi Suzuki beat Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki in 14 minutes. I have more commentary on Chica for the next show.
So
Um,
I have a random thing that I thought of last night when I
okay.
was watching both these matches. Um, so in America, there's a concept called the Waffle House scale, right? Um,
Mhm.
because Waffle House is a place that is always open no matter what. Uh, the only time that isn't open is during severe natural disasters. Uh, and like if your Waffle House is closed, you need to get the fuck out. Is basically what the point. Um, I feel like Marigold house shows has the Dark Wolf scale because Nozaki and Chiaki can have the best match on the card pretty easily just because they click very well together. Um, when they don't, it means the show is not good because like they are the barometer of care and of general engagement. And I think this match wasn't particularly good. I felt like Nozaki kind of took the day off, Chiaki kind of took the day off, and Shika and Shizuki did fine, but nothing particularly inspiring. And
Right.
so that's when I was like, oh, okay.
We're doomed.
Yeah,
That
like
is
this show
valid.
has a lower ceiling than a show with a very good or at least a really solid Dark Wolf match like the next show. I thought they had a good showing in the next show, and I was like, okay, this is a pretty high ceiling, and I was right. Um, so yeah, I think Nozaki and Chiaki are kind of indicative of the state of any given Marigold House show,
I
because I didn't
see.
think this was particularly good. And I thought that was kind of like it told me, okay, the ceiling for this show is pretty low. Um,
Well,
and
you were proven wrong because the next match slapped. Victoria Yuzuki and Utami Hayashishita wrestled to a
yeah.
15-minute time limit draw with Mika Ono and Seri Yamaoka.
See, I just thought this was
Uh,
good. Like I didn't think it was like it
oh,
was
it's the
anything
same
insane.
thing. Um, I really liked seeing Utami in there with Seri. It was like one of the first times somebody just wasn't overawed by Seri and just went, nah, dog. She would just body
That's true.
slamming her. Yuzuki was like, hey, I don't like you either. Iono and Utami ran at one another because apparently Iono is a stand-in host now. She just throws the lariats with the
She
big
does that.
boys.
She's been
Does.
doing that since the jump, and I was like, what the fuck? Like
It's
she's just
awesome.
throwing them. I rock
But
with
yeah,
it.
I mean, this is like four of their better wrestlers just having a really cool time.
Mm.
I got for fifths. There was some weirdness. Yuzuki and Yamioka had some weird spots, but there was also
Yeah,
some
yeah,
interesting stuff. Like they did almost kill Yuzuki at one point, but they are very interesting as a pairing, just based on one being Starlight Kid and Natsupoi coded, and one being I'm going to throw you around coded. So
yeah.
I'm interested in Annie and every Yuzuki Seri stuff we can get. They're one of the most fascinating pairings to me. But yeah, Utami and Seri as well. Pick up on that. Things like that.
Yeah, maybe I felt like the draw too early. But yeah, I liked this match. I thought it was fun. Sari and Yuzuki don't have that immediate like perfection together, which shocker. They have combined 100 and something matches, and if even that, probably that maybe, and you know 90 of them are Yuzuki's. So I I didn't like immediately see like a spark between the two that I wanted to, but I did think that their work together was fun. I think Utami, I agree that Utami's work with Sari was a lot of fun as well, and her work with Miku uh, was what you expect from Utami Miku, and that is pretty good. I would love to see that title match this year between Utami and Miku. I think that's a match that they haven't given away yet. I feel like that's a big match. That was a big match when this company first started that I think people kind of forgot about because they went two different title directions. Um, but I think Miku and Utami's like a big match, legitimately.
Yes. Well, they
That I
were
think
two of
people
the
kind of
three
forget about.
when the company started that were like heralded as because it was
Yeah.
them and Mirai. And obviously things have shifted a little bit since
Well,
then.
it was them and
But
Julia, but yeah, Mirai too.
yeah, kind of.
On the first show, it was Julia.
But yeah, that's true. Yeah, Julia. But yeah, these are definitely two of the major ones. Yeah, I could see Iono challenging on one of the big shows if they don't want Utami to lose. Like, I know Mariah is probably the challenger whenever they do Summer Destiny.
Mm.
But if they don't have a certain DP winner this year, then maybe Iono and Utami is the first dream or whatever equivalent they run next
Second
year.
dream.
Yeah. Because yeah, I don't know what the branding is going to be or when they're going to run it, but I would imagine they'll stay consistent-ish. But yeah, you could have Iono on one of those kind of shows. Um, but yeah, very enjoyable tag. It then did Nanai Takahashi beating Misa Matsuri in 15
I just
minutes.
I just popped myself thinking of 24th Dream, 23 years from now.
Jeez. What did you think of Nanai Misa? Misa had a banner weekend for
I
herself.
thought I thought this was quite good. It wasn't as good as the match the next day,
Yeah.
especially for Misa Matsui performance wise. And I also think it was maybe a step below their previous outings. But to be fair, I loved their first match, and I
Yes.
really, really, really liked their second match. I think I really liked this match. So it's like all of them are great. Like I think the three match series has been very good. Um, but yeah, I would probably make this a step below the other two uh, that they've had.
All right.
Maybe I don't remember much of my feelings about their Dreamstar match actually.
Um, I don't
Let me
either.
check that out.
Um, we then
I
had
remember it was good, but
My Sakurai and Mariah buzzed along in 12 minutes. Yeah, it's whatever.
I'm not
Um,
gonna lie, I love Megaton. I think she's so fun.
yeah, she's cool, but it's
Main
whatever.
event is interesting, but you know,
Yes.
I appreciate Mariah
Me
coming
neither.
in and just fucking tarantulaing her like a fucking like breaking her back. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah. We then had Marigold New Year Golden Garden Day 6. This was on the 26th of January in Shinkiba First Ring. They had 245 fans here. Naho Yamada beat Ryoko in 6.5 minutes in the opener. As I said, I was going to watch this, and then Wrestle Universe had it marked incorrectly, and so I didn't. Now I want to go back and see it. So
Yeah, you should. It was quite good.
yeah, okay.
Um,
Like
Yeah, I was
Ryoko.
right.
Oh,
The Misa match was a step below both of their previous ones. Um,
all right.
yeah, no, I thought Naho. I just think the world of Naho, frankly, and I think Ryoko
Yeah.
is slowly but surely kind of like working out her kinks, um,
Hmm.
which I think is important. She's obviously still green, but she's more natural, which is what you need from her right now. So yeah, I think Naho Yamada is a workhorse that I absolutely adore, and
Hmm.
Ryoko is somebody that's coming along nice. So I was happy, and I was happy Naho won, frankly, uh, because you never know with these rookies that Rossi might just take a liking to and have them beat Naho, but Naho stood strong here, and I was happy about that. Naho
All right.
should challenge for the Superfly.
Yeah, I thought it's weird because they're doing Matsui Yuzuki on a smaller show, which I thought they would do
Yeah,
Naho
that
on
kind of pisses
instead.
me off. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I watched this show and I was like, man, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like I know Matsui
Rossi
probably
frustrating the fuck out of everybody because he's pushing like his chosen projects, and then
his
you're like,
three
why not
wrestlers, and
Naho?
then it's like,
Where is
yeah,
Naho? Where's my Matsui stuff?
I I
He's
think I
such a
think
frustrating man.
yeah, this was the first week where I was just like generally frustrated with Marigold. Not because anything bad has happened. Like I think the shows I still enjoy the shows, especially the Shinkiba one. The Yokohama one was rough, but the Shinkiba one was very good. It was a very uh consistent show. But I will say I think I grew frustrated when I thought about it. Oh, we forgot to talk about the title challenge, by the way. To end the last show, to end the last show,
Did we?
or not end, not end. It
Was it
was
not on
after
this
the
show?
passion match. No, it was after the passion match.
Oh.
Um,
Oh shit.
we,
Yeah,
we
yeah. Okay, well we'll talk about it anyway,
we'll,
sure.
yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit. But very frustrating because I was like, Naho could just challenge and be like, there's so much good title fodder
Yeah.
that we just don't use. Like give me out now Ishikawa title challenges.
Yes.
Give me a Naho Superfly challenge. Give
Yes.
me like there's so we don't need to do Yuzuki and Utami as a V1. Like we don't need to do that. Like I like the match, but we don't need to do that as a V1
But yeah,
at all.
that's so stupid to me. I
Like
cannot lie
like
to
I
you.
think I love the match decision, but like that's make it a V2 and then they drop it in V3. if you want.
Yeah.
But like I feel like you could have just given somebody else a shot here. Uh Utami's already challenged once before.
Yep.
Yuzuki's challenged once or twice before, it feels like.
Hmm.
Um we don't need to do this as a V1. It gives somebody else a shot. And that's kind of how I feel about Naho with the Superfly belt. Is like why are we doing Misa so quickly? I know ultimately it's because Misa's winning the belt in her second challenge of Yuzuki. Like that's what's probably going to happen. She's going to challenge her in a few months and win. Uh, but I just would rather.
Riveting storytelling for the
Yeah,
Superfly belt.
it's
The
definitely not the same
same
way it just happened.
exact pattern
Um,
back to back.
yeah, but
Oh,
like, or
lovely.
just do Superfly challenges less frequently. There's not a lot of challengers. You could do it
Look,
every couple
they
months.
already do that for every other belt, so they
That's
can't.
the
They
problem.
can't like every belt is defended like every 3 months. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
which is not like which I don't
Right,
have an
we gotta, we
inherent problem
gotta,
with,
we gotta,
but
we gotta keep rolling. We gotta move.
yeah,
Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki beat Naoshikawa and Riara
good.
in
That
11.
was a good match.
Cool. All right.
I was happy with it.
Chika Goto and Manami Yuki beat Natsumi Suzuki and Rei Sato in 11 minutes.
This
So
was
Chika,
notably good, I would say. Like
yeah.
actively quite good.
So Chika pinned somebody to win this match, and she also won the day before. So I'm
She
very
beat
interested in
Rhea.
her.
She beat Rhea and
Um,
Chiaki. So Chiaki is
yeah.
not getting that white belt match.
No. So I'm interested in what Chica's doing. Obviously, the Koki match got kind of fucked up, and but they seem to be continuing with her push coming out of that. I don't know if she's being heated up for maybe a Mai Sakurai defense, or if they're just gonna have her heated up so that she can wrestle Koki whenever she comes back again. But I am interested in Chica picking up 2 wins back to back. I think that's the kind of thing that usually should get your radar going with Rossi booking. So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes for her.
Yeah, I feel like she's a my Sakurai challenge. She's the most
Yeah.
clear my Sakurai challenge right now. To me,
That
but
gonna be the next Karkin? Please. Oh my god.
it might be.
Dude. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I don't
It
know.
depends on when the next Gorkin is. Do you know when that is? It's February something.
Is the 24th, I think,
Then
said the date
probably.
when Utami and Yuzuki challenged.
Maybe they do Scott's idea and they do just have uh my Sakurai versus Chan Yoda. I think that would be beast.
It would be Beast, yeah. I
But
guess that's
no,
probably the only news is they booked Chanyota and also Nanai said yes to the singles match in PPP. So
yeah. I think
yeah,
I think my Sakurai probably faces Chikugoto there, yes. That would be my
probably because
assumption.
Koki was one of the early Iono defenses, so you can have
Mhm.
Chica this time. That makes
And
sense.
Chico has always been supposed to challenge for the white belt. Literally, like
Yeah,
from the jump, when Miku won the belt, Go Chica's like, I'm chasing you now, and she hasn't challenged,
yeah.
so
Well,
she's
might
due.
change. Our next match was Mikao Ono, Misamatsu, and Utami Hayashishita beating Mai Sakurai, Mirai, and Victoria Yuzuki in just under 16 minutes.
Dare I
Matsui
say,
actually
this was
pinned.
great.
Yes, Matsui pinned Yuzuki to get the win. Yeah, I mean, this is like 6 elite wrestlers just doing shit. They had the Mirai and Aono bumping bodies. They had Matsui and Yuzuki doing crazy shit. They do Tommy and Mai Sakurai in there, although I kind of forgot Mai was in the match at some points. Um, like everybody involved is just really good
She
at
would
what
do tag
they
moves
do.
with like Yuzuki and Mirai, but like as an individual, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember much.
But yeah, this was great. This is the kind of match that you hang your hat on if you're Marigold and you just go, look, we can do this. Like we could just throw this shit out there. Um, and it works, just this really entertaining match. Originally this was meant to have Seri, but she got sick and couldn't make the show, so
So I think,
Iono
yeah, I
decided
don't know.
to
Was
do it.
supposed to be in the triple threat,
I
and
have
or
no I
I
think
don't
it was
know something.
Riara. I think it was maybe Riara, or
Ooh,
Rhea.
maybe
Maybe it was Shizuki and Matsui teaming, and Rhea got moved up.
potentially. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm happy that whatever happened happened. Sorry to Sari. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Uh, really, like that's not what I meant. But um, this was just so fucking good. This is such a good
It
match.
was awesome.
I was amazed. Uh, because I watched both of these shows back to back last night, and I was kind of like I said, I was a bit down from the Yokohama show, and then this Shinkiba, I was like, okay, this is good, this is good, and then I got fucking slapped in the face by like the best house show match of in recent memory.
Yeah. No, if you're like if you hate Marigold, I'm kind of just like, hey, you should watch stuff like this because they've got really good wrestling, you know. Um, yeah, Matsui had the crowd really behind her. She's somebody who I could see getting very popular if they wanted to invest in her. I don't know if they do. But, like the crowd was firmly chanting
I
for
feel like they
Misa.
do, but she's like
She's just
younger,
so young.
and
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
yeah.
saying last year. Like once you do this Superfly run, there's literally nothing for her to do. So kind of be patient.
Which I
But yeah,
also think might be why they're kind of holding off on her is because they want to give her some like meat to it. Uh, that
yeah.
like Yuzuki will get, knock on wood, everything goes well. Yuzuki will get one of the top two belts.
Oh,
She does
dude,
not need the
Yuzuki's like
Superfly
top
belt.
star.
She doesn't need the Superfly run to be like fucking incredible. Who
No,
did who did Io defend the? I mean, like that's a bad example. Who did Io defend the high speed belt against? It's like
easy.
good wrestlers, Tayo a lot,
Yeah.
but like I'm not saying that was a bad run, but it's not the same as Chris Wolf's high speed
Yes.
title run, which was the only thing that she was ever going to get. Uh, and she kind of wanted to make the most of it. So,
Yeah, I getcha.
or even May Sarah now. Like I think May Sarah is a good example of like somebody whose ceiling is as a singles is probably the high speed belt.
Hmm.
Um, and so she's obviously making the most of it. So yeah, I'm hoping that's maybe I'm coping, but I'm hoping that's why they're holding up on Misa there, because
No, I mean it makes sense. I
she's
mean,
incredible.
there's you gotta really like pace yourself sometimes in wrestling, you know,
Mhm.
because you can't do everything at once, otherwise you'll have nothing left. So yeah, I
Yeah,
would wait on Misa, and I kind of get it. I just hope that they don't like lose faith in her. But I think if she
let
pinned
it just
Yusuke,
completely. Yeah,
I think they know. I think they know what they have there. But yeah, that was one of the better house show matches from Marigold. Definitely one to go out of your way to see if you haven't. Um, and then we went on to the main event. Loser leaves town. Bozilla beats Tank in 8 minutes. Um, my favorite part was Megaton taking over as the ring announcer,
ring announcer.
and
Yeah,
Bozilla cracked. Bozilla was cracking up. I love the dynamic here of Bozilla being like, "I hate everybody. Fuck all you. I'm gonna destroy everything." Being like, whenever Megaton does anything. Um, yeah, this was a fascinating match. I don't know if I wouldn't say it was bad. Like they were
I wouldn't say it
jumping
was
around.
bad.
They were like jumping around and doing shit. And Brazilla did like a fucking a code red or something at one point. Like she was jumping around the ring to try and like make something with Tank. And they did kind of bump shoulders enough to do Hoss stuff, but it certainly wasn't great. But like it was interesting, you know, it was different.
Yeah, I one thing that this match did kind of make me think is that it's like, damn, but when Bozella goes to America, so much of her game's gonna be gone, because she's like one of the best walking brawlers in the game right now. Like she's just so fun when she takes things out of the ring. Um, and that's not really a thing in WWE uh, or AEW for the most part, especially not for women. Um, so I'm just like, damn, like this is like half of her game because like the what made this match like fun was Bozilla bringing her outside and just beating the fuck out of her. And then I thought the match was all right, but yeah, a testament to Bozilla being a real one because I thought that she really brought Tank to a fun place, all
She
things
did.
considered. Not a
Yeah.
technically or properly good match, but it certainly was better than Tank's other outings in the
Yes.
company.
That is the end of the Tank experiment.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next wave of foreigners is coming soon and they're not Tank, but
To
there's
be
literally
fair,
no word on
I,
them.
I I see I see a lot of people being like, "Wow, they knew that she was so bad and they had to pivot and they kicked her out." I was like, I have a feeling that I don't think she was going to stay very long, regardless. Like, I don't
No.
think this was like oh, she's going to be here for 3 months. They were like, ah, no, she's so bad, we need to pivot. I think they're just
She
like,
is far from the worst wrestler Rossi has ever brought in.
no, no,
They did not pivot because she was that bad. They have booked so much worse.
Correct. Um, and that's why, and that's just Tessa Blanchard. No, but and that's why. That was a joke. That was a joke. Tessa Blanchard is a better wrestler than Tank. Uh, she just so happens to get really racist when she goes to Stardom for some reason. Um, but point being, I don't think that's what happened. I think probably they were like, okay, we'll have Tank here for a month, and if she does well, we'll bring her back. I have a feeling that maybe they were like, okay, she's never coming back. Like
Yeah.
I think that might have been the pivot, but I don't think she was ever going to stay longer than January. Like I think that was just what was meant to be.
Yeah, no, I getcha. I would agree with that. There's a review here of Marigold on Cage Match that was like, they have injuries to key wrestlers, and I'm just like, Koki? Is Koki a
Koki
key
and
wrestler?
Kazuna.
I wouldn't
I think
consider Kazuna a key wrestler.
Kazuna's a key undercard wrestler, like a key under mid card, lower mid carder.
I don't know. I think being like, oh, they have to replace Kazuna with rookies or green wrestlers when Kazuna is
Kazuna's
kind
she's
of
not
both.
green, but she's a
Eh.
bit she's young. Um,
Koki can do like one thing. Let's not get
Hey,
crazy
but
here.
she does
She
it
does.
fucking well,
I
so
know.
watch your damn mouth.
I'm just
Um,
it's such a strange thing. It's like there's so many injuries and it's like there's like three and
I
Sari got sick. Like calm down.
I don't know. I get it. Like I don't fully agree, but yeah, I mean like Koki being gone is a hit. Um, Kazuna being gone while you don't think so is a hit. Kamon being
I mean
gone is a hit to the undercard.
Koki being gone, but there still being three good matches is like fine to
I think
me.
Kazuna being gone is a hit to two title scenes, which is notable
I guess maybe.
because it's a hit to the tags and it's a hit to the Superfly. Um, so
Yeah.
I would say Kazuna, while you might not like her, is a notable absence, and I think Koki is a hit to everything because she was a pretty top dog
Yeah.
up until her injury. So yeah, I definitely I feel like the company's definitely missing Koki. It's missing Kazuna, um, and it is missing Komomo just for the undercard stuff. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of
I
rest,
don't think
so it's
this was
not like
suddenly going to be a great house show just because of them three.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, not at all. And like I
So,
said, I really liked the Shinkiba show. I don't like I don't know. It made me happy. I was happy with pro wrestling. Now it's the other company, but
mhm. Well,
you know,
that was that. There are no Marigold shows this weekend, as far as I can see. Don't think they run again until the
the
7th of
ninth or
February.
something like that.
The 7th, they are in Shinjuku Face for the Misamatsuri defense and
Hmm.
the Chanyota debut, as well as a Mirai singles match with Megaton. Um, Yuki
Yeah,
Mishiro isn't on any of the upcoming shows, which is kind of disappointing. Riara is on all of them, but there is no Yuki
R-
Mishiro, which is kind of disappointing.
I think Rio's just there now. I mean,
Yeah,
Riara was
Riara is just on the
out.
roster, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
so
just
I figured
too,
shocked that they haven't like officially put her on the roster. Maybe she has some dates elsewhere that she has to finish up, but
possibly.
I feel like she's as good as like she's a roster member effectively.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, that's
yeah, we'll
kind of
talk about
it.
this next week.
Yeah, Marigold on a bit of a break.
Yuka
Maybe.
Mashiro's a 0-1 wrestler. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did. I remember that she asked to join their women's division, which I think is very interesting. Um, maybe it'll work out this time. Who knows? They already have a
Yeah.
trainee, as far as I've seen, as well. Um, yeah. Gosh, I am so burpy. With that, it is
Mhm.
time to close the show because I will be speaking to Dylan in a couple of hours again. So, Dylan, any
Yes.
closing remarks before we leave?
No, I'm thinking about recharging my passion soon. Uh,
Okay.
so we will see how that goes. But thank you for listening always. I don't know what episode this is, but we're getting up there in the numbers. Um,
231, I believe.
231.
Yeah, I think so.
That's insane.
I
That's
know.
absurd. But yeah, so I might be recharging my passion a little bit in February, but I will be back. Who knows? I might just say I don't want to and show up next week. We'll see. Um, but yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope I wasn't too much of a hater.
Nah, I didn't think so. But you know,
It's good.
you're always just a slightly more cynical than I am towards the glorious hate is great crew of 2025. But that is it for this show. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit,
Oh
you may
yeah,
sit.
wait. This guy loves Hulk Hogan, by the way. Go ahead.
Uh, that's a horrendous thing to say out
So
of context.
I don't know. This he loves Hulk Hogan, loves hate. Like I think that it's an interesting guy over here. Interesting person, agender, but
Hulk
interesting.
Hogan is it's a deplorable
Don't
human.
you?
he is
you-
he is
he also
deplorable
likes
human.
Rockin' Rebel, who like killed
I
his
did not.
family or
That was
something.
a miss. That was a missed identity. I meant Rock and Robin, not Rock and
Rockin'
Rebel.
Robin, good wrestler. Rockin'
Yes.
Robin. Uh,
Even you just did it. So fuck you.
no,
Anyway, if you want
I
to
said
stand,
it
you may
on.
stand. You
Oh
didn't.
shit! I did do it.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's easy. It's very easy. So fuck you. All right. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in, brother.
Oh, shine
Ijo.
forever. Stardom Quest. Ijo.
Ijo.